All about Carnival Slayers, and Darren said me tell you that. Listen, we're big, small, tall, black, white, you name it, you're welcome. Carnival Slayers is the place to be, all right? Make sure you follow, like, subscribe. You can't go wrong.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome and good evening, good night, good day, wherever you are. This is another edition of Carnival Slayers Hot Sauce, and it's your girl, Jizzy. And this evening, this morning, tonight, I am joined by some panelists. We have some familiar faces and a new face in the building as well. So I would just like to welcome all of my lovely, lovely panelists with me tonight, starting with Zaya Music out in New York. Zaya, give the people a little wave.
Hello. Peace and blessings from Brooklyn, New York. Hope everyone is doing well. It's going to be spicy today. A lot to talk about, a lot to discuss, a lot to break down, and also build up. So
you understand? We go mash it up and buy back.
Yes.
That's what we do.
That's right. Share the link. It's going to be red hot tonight.
Definitely. And next time is my other guest, Sir Influential.
Good evening, good night, everybody. From here, London, Flag Sound, Sir Influential representing. And this topic, we're going to really talk to the couples tonight for sure. So get your food, get your popcorn ready.
One time, there. And next is the gorgeous looking tonight, Miss being Lisa Love.
Hi, darling. Hello. All the way in London. I think with majority of the crew ready for the bacchanal, but do the relationship coaching. So if you're looking for it, check me out, being Lisa Love on IG. Yeah, definitely. I'm ready. I'm ready.
And next to her, we welcome back Super Trinity Vibes.
Good night, everybody. Good night. I kissed that girl and I liked it.
Did she like it?
Anyway,
that was a bit random.
I'm Super Trini Vibes, and it's a pleasure to be on board once again. Tonight is going to be one where it's going to probably have a bit of ebb and flow with it, but I'm looking forward to it. And as always, thank you for having me on board. I like the lipstick, Jizzy. I like the lipstick.
You see that?
I caught it.
Yeah.
I'll put it in my pocket.
That's a good word, you know.
I was you catch it.
I tell her, yeah, I kissed that girl and I liked it.
Let's start already. Oh gosh, let's start already. You know, my next guest panelist tonight is no stranger, but also a kind of newbie to the Slayers Hot Sauce in the hot seat. Is DJ Vern Island Selector.
Good night, good morning, good afternoon, happy Hanukkah to everyone in the universe right now. Today's going to be spicy, honestly, spicy, you know?
Well, you don't know it's hot sauce, so it had to be spicy. And last but not least, the producer of the show, Miss Nye herself, the CEO of Carnival Slayers.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, good night. If it's your first time to the Slayers Hot Sauce, welcome. If it's your second, third, fourth, 10th time to the Slayers Hot Sauce, welcome back. Hello. It's good to see you nice.
Yeah.
And yes, we're ready to bring on the pepper.
We're ready to bring on the pepper. Well, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, before we jump into the topic, I just want to say a massive shout out to all our sponsors tonight. And don't forget to go and check out Glow Dazzle Cosmetics on Instagram, powering my makeup tonight as usual. Glow.dazzle on Instagram. Do check them out. And before you do anything else, share the live, okay? Share the live. Tell a friend. Tell everybody you know. Tune in. Make sure that you interact with us via the comments, because we will be reading out your comments or any questions that you have. So make sure that you interact with us, because we're going to have some fun tonight. Now, Slayers Hot Sauce, we always have to have a little bacchanal in the thing, but we also will be touching on, issues that are pertinent and relevant. It's not all about the bacchanal. We do have grown-ups, and we do talk about grown-up stuff. So it's not only a bacchanal thing, but of course, being in the Caribbean, it can't be far from bacchanal.
Jizzy, that wasn't a bit of shade you pelt in there, was it, my dear?
Of course not.
Never.
No, we're not going down the shady route, girl.
We go, nah.
Play the thing.
we too sophisticated to go down the shade road. You know what I'm saying, baby? You understand? I'll never break up my glasses and I have to go and get my glasses. You know, I don't have my punching on.
Let's drink some wine, yeah?
Tonight we be drinking, punching, and talking the people them business. We ain't drinking no water, man. We business, we drinking, punching, and we talking the people them business because the people them put it out there. So we talking about it.
That's right.
You understand?
I wonder why they don't play that song in parties more. Are DJs intimidated of Patrice? That's why they don't play that in effect?
Which
do
one?
Because it's a nice little catchy song.
What,
I know, but I mean, I just hear it.
Function version.
Oh, you mean must play
No,
that?
but I hear the what.
That don't get played in New York. It's like DJs don't want to piss Patrice off.
Must play that.
No, over here they're playing Patrice. We don't hear the punching one enough.
But that's what
I'm making notes. I'm making notes.
Hey, somebody else have a notepad.
He watched it before. He watched it before.
He will take notes from the previous.
Yeah. I have a whole copy book I have.
Ay. You have a copy book, you know. That's
you know,
copy book. You're showing your age with copy book. People are saying notebook now.
No,
they don't even say tablet notes.
Yes, that is true. Exactly. It had to be a tablet. You understand? Well, again, as I said, welcome everybody to Slayers Hot Sauce. You know how we do it on a Thursday night. We have a little chit chat, we have some fun, we have some laughter. Tonight, it would be remiss of us if we did not address the situation that happened at the Oscars. Now, all you know, that happened. It had no way that we can't talk about that on Slayers. We had to talk about that. We had to go there. So that is exactly where we're going tonight to talk about the slap. Now, if you didn't see it, I would advise you open your social media or just go on Google and Google Oscars 2022 and you must see it. You understand? This is about that infamous or that famous slap, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, wait. Is it a slap or is it a box?
It's a slap.
That was a
man get a box.
That was a slap.
No, well,
that was a slap.
At first, let me quantify it. At first, I thought it was a cough because when I hear the song, I say, hey, the man get cough. But then when I see the video, I realize it's a kind of little bitch slap the man get. According to
First of all, I thought it was staged.
Yeah,
right.
No,
everybody did.
I'm going and ask the question. Don't worry, hold on. We come in there because you know it have all of the analysts. I take note, all of the analysts who say it's fake, who say it real, people unpack it. I mean, it was on so many different talk shows and stuff and Breakfast Club and all this kind of thing. And I saw so many things. Everybody had the 2 cents and the 5 cents and the dollar to say. You understand? So we will come to whether or not it was staged because tonight, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to be discussing regarding the slap is 1, was it real or was it fake? Number 2, was he right or was he wrong? Was he in the wrong? Number 3, is there anything such as chivalry anymore? I mentioned that word and it have some people who even know what chivalry mean. Was he still in character as King, King, whatever he was in the movie that he was
King Richard.
Was he still in character as King Richard and felt the need to be chivalrous to protect his queen? Who knows? You know, and then we look at the wider issues around Black women. You know, a lot of Black women were saying, yes, we finally have a Black man standing up for us queens. So that begs the question about Black women. Are we being disrespected so much that when somebody actually stands up, a public figure, we have to applaud that because it is so rare that we don't see it? The other thing we're going to be talking about is relationships, that man-woman dichotomy and dynamics in a relationship. You know, whereby, again, protecting your partner and not just, you know, man, woman, but also just partners in general. Because, you know, if you're in a relationship, would you expect your partner to defend you and defend you publicly? So we have a lot to talk about and a lot to unpack. And the way are we going to do it? I will ask the first question out to my panelists and to you, the viewers. Do you think it was staged? Did it look real? or do you think it was staged? Was it fake? Because obviously the rumor mill is going around. It was fake. Pfizer have a new drug coming out for alopecia. You know, I even
I
asked,
can't even deal,
was it
man.
because
I can't
the Oscars
deal.
is a dying brand? You know, the Oscars, who really watches the Oscars anyway? Did
They've
they
been
need to
saying
pull
that,
something
yeah.
out of the bag to bring their ratings back up? Did they need a bit of drama? You know, and hence the reason why that kind of happened. So it was all staged to try and, you know, breathe some new life back into the Oscars, because to be honest, it did as well. So anyway, first question, was it real or was it staged? Tell us in the comments what you think whilst I go to my panelists and ask them. Vern, you was out of the blocks. You say you think it's staged.
First of all, I feel sorry for Sidney Poitier because he was one of our first black Oscar winners. He set the trend, you know, and all of a sudden we had this going on. Now, if it was staged, was he reading from a script? Did Chris Rock read that joke out of script, and who scripted it for him? And basically, I had to watch it. So I was late for work on that day. You know, I phoned at night and I was late for work because I watched it so many times. And the thing is that I still can't believe it right now. I still can't believe. I think that them two are gonna turn up and say, "Listen, we had to make a point because social media, you know, is very influential. You know. So at the end of the day, they may come back and say, "Listen, it was staged." But I think if it was staged, they're making a mockery of the producer who was the first black producer of the Oscars, right? So you know, yeah.
So what do you think? You're on the fence? You think it's staged or you think it was real?
Well, he's apologized. I think it was real, but it was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
All right. So you think it was real? Super Trini, fake or real?
I think there were elements of both, you know, honestly, because Chris Rock has his tour coming up very soon. So to gain some traction for that, you know, that could have a part to play. In terms of the emotional side of it, I think some of that was real. But I really on the fence, you know,
You're on the
because
fence. You ain't think that slap. You ain't think that slap when you hear that connection.
no, because if you ever slap somebody before, right? And you know you walking a mile and a half to go and slap that person, right? You ain't gonna reach there with your elbow bent like this. You understand me? That slap coming from all the way down by your ankle because you wanted to mean something.
A bellas.
You can slap him from here.
Looking to give a
like that.
bellas.
You understand? So for me, you ain't getting the full brunt of the slap because it didn't coming from all the way back behind God back and hit him. You know? Because that's how
he didn't really want it. So if he really wanted to slap him, he'd have proper slap him.
Yeah, because
that's what you're saying.
Because naturally, if it is that thought process coming in mind, you get from your chair and you walk all the way up on stage with your little bounce and thing, and you had to make sure and wind that watch me. That slap had to be echoing all the way down through California.
Yeah.
It should have an earthquake in San Francisco. All kind of things should
Back.
happen. Listen, that should ricochet off every wall and say, everybody should feel that slap.
Right. So it was fake.
And the fence girl.
No, but after kind of explanation like that, it sounded like if it wasn't real.
Watch me. I tell you, it was. I feel he did it to serve a purpose, but he didn't want to hurt Chris Rock. You understand?
So it was a fake real slap then.
I don't know if Chris Rock was like. If Chris was like, hey, come here, I want to hug you at this moment. Chris Rock can even pour the hand for a hug or pour the hand for a slap. He literally bent himself forward and say, hey, one partner, you good?
Yeah, he put his face in the slap. You understand?
Know? So I tell you, I on the fence. Give me a minute. Everybody talk and I might make a decision.
And then they might make a decision.
Yeah, you come back.
What do you think, real or fake?
I think it was real because Chris Rock wasn't expecting it. And I feel like even while Will was walking up, I don't think he knew what he was gonna do. I think it was.
So you think he get from his seat in anger, hot-headed, hot and sweaty?
Probably.
And just was going to go up to the man and just say what?
You know what, bam. It kind of like I changed my mind just before I was probably gonna say something or move it to the side and grab the mic and say so. I don't know. It just for
Really?
me, I feel it. I think it was real.
So you think it was real? He acted on impulse and it was real.
Yeah.
All right. Influential. What says you?
I'm gonna say it's real, and the reason for that is because of the emotional connection to the joke and how his wife, his partner reacted after, and the current climate that Will Smith is in. He's always being chastised as not being macho enough, man enough.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a situation where he said, you know what, I'm gonna give Chris a little slap, And Chris being a comedian and knowing the kind of relationship that they've had before, and at an award ceremony, you would assume anybody like that, a nominee coming up to the stage so spontaneously would probably be wanting to say something to you quickly in your ear, or to say, yo, give me a moment, let me just quickly say something on the mic. So that's why he probably
Yeah.
leaned forward. Then when he
Mm-hmm.
got the slap, you notice that he ducked and he
Yeah,
didn't,
that was my
because it's a shock. And also to quickly add, Chris Rock has been attacked before many a times, and he still suffers from the trauma from that. So at that particular moment, he's probably not thinking that Will is going to do something like that to him. So I would say it's real, and we're seeing the ripple effects of it. And whether it's anything like that would have sold Chris Rock's concert or
Upcoming
tour
tour.
show.
Mm-hmm.
It would have.
Cool.
It also prepares Jada and their media teams, the Red Talk table thing, to have another fresh episode to talk about. So there's lots of rippling effects as well, and we know how social media spreads that wildfire. So yeah, for me, it's real, and it's just like, was it necessary? Not really, but again, I don't blame Will, and I don't blame Chris for how we handled it.
Mm-hmm.
Subsequently, we also need to talk about the particular comedians who are making certain comments that in regards to Will Smith, and that how he should be sued and stuff. But yeah, that's for a little later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for me, real.
It real. You feel it
real.
real.
I feel it
Proper
real.
real.
I
All
feel it
right.
real.
A real thing.
Zaya, where do you sit?
I definitely think it was real stupidness, real foolishness, real foolishness. Now let me stop. I mean, I'm gonna get into some of the reasons why, but I'm just putting on my position right outside, so nobody have to guess what position I'm on. Will Smith made himself look like a coward. Plain and simple. Everything he sought to achieve, he received the opposite effect of it. You want people to stop talking about their wife? It's no, they're talking about your wife. You want people to respect you? It's no, they're disrespecting you. You want people to think you're tough? It's no, they're thinking you're soft. But we're gonna get into that later.
Yeah, we
Totally achieved everything he planned.
don't give away all this steam and the fire yet. All right, Nai, what do you think? Real or fake?
It was definitely real, and I wish it wasn't at the same time. I get why Will felt like, hold on a minute, I need to protect. I'm going from the angle of protection now, yeah? Slightly different from what everyone else has spoken about so far. So he's standing up for his woman, he's protecting his woman, and he thought, yes, I need to do something about this. But then part of me felt that it was also a slightly delayed reaction, because as a lot of people have mentioned, the word on the street is his reaction to the joke was a little chuckle. But then at the same time, it was like, well, was he not just chuckling at the previous joke and it overlapped into the joke about G.I. Jane? Which is what my thinking was. But then body language and all of that, he looked across at Jada, she made the face, he was like, okay, I've got to do something, boom, let me go and do this.
Yeah.
So I get why he felt he had to protect his woman, quite rightfully so. The joke was in bad taste, especially as it was also said that Chris knew about the alopecia story, apparently, So knowing that, it's in bad taste. He shouldn't have made a joke, and it was definitely real. And I do wish that maybe Will didn't do that. Protect your woman, yes. Maybe cuss him or say something shady, or So people know, like, yo, don't talk about my missus like that. But to physically go up and box him or slap him.
It was slap. It wasn't a box. It was a bit of
Was
an
an
Yeah,
open
it
palm
was
slap.
yeah,
yeah,
it was
because
All
it was
5
but-
fingers.
But again,
yeah,
sorry,
it
the
was
question
real,
again,
but I
sorry,
wish
it's
it
not
didn't
just
happen.
real, but was it staged as well?
Nah.
So do you think it was staged?
I don't
Nah,
think
but
so.
you can see from Chris's reaction, like he was like rotted.
Yeah, Zaya, you don't think it
His
was staged
reaction was
either?
quite funny.
Yeah, it
And
wasn't
it's, you
scripted.
know, and he made a joke out of it as well. So you know what? Big up to Chris, you know, because like I don't know if I could get a slap like that and
Man,
just be standing there
listen,
and still cracking
man
I
turn
would
the
have
other
made
cheek.
99 more
Man
jokes.
turn the other cheek, yo.
It
me.
was,
I'm going mad, you
it
know.
was strong jaw, yes?
A
Strong
real
jaw.
strong.
Yeah.
I see didn't fall down with that. I mean, I say, but like Chris used to be a boxer back in the day because the way how he stand up and
So
take
why didn't he duck then? Why, you know, one of those, you know,
No, well,
duck.
what's so influential said makes sense. Because if he see Will walking towards him, he probably tried to put his face forward. He thought he was coming to say
Yeah,
something
that's
to
what
him.
it looked like to me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That seems very logical because I thought to myself as well, why would he lean forward? But then as you say, that's influential, that make a lot of sense, you know, because he would probably think he was coming to say something. But the other thing I wanted to say as well, when Will laughed, you could clearly see at the G.I. Jane joke, it was a very uncomfortable, nervous laugh. Because I look back at the laugh. At first, when I saw it, I said, but he laughing too, so what happened to he? You know, but then when I look back at it, I realized that was a very uncomfortable laugh. And you know, when people feel funny in a kind of way, and they just kind of,
But
yeah,
then, you know,
it was one of those.
It was like,
And
mother
in
fudger.
his acceptance speech, he was saying, and this is another thing that we need to realize, and people, that's why I'm so glad I'm not a celebrity, you know, because it's
But
like
he's
you
a
can't-
celebrity.
no,
Giselle,
no,
you know you're a celebrity, you know.
But we're calling
I am a
yourself.
celebrity.
We are all celebrities.
people,
We are
no,
all
because
celebrities here on this panel.
people just want to say thing about your family, and you just be expected to smile it off. It's like you can't get vexed, you know, but you're a person too. You understand? And if people are saying things about you and your family, then it after a while it does get to you, no matter how much you try to block it out. You know, if you consume it cumulatively, it will have an effect. You understand? And therefore, for me, I think if you're in the limelight, number one, like we had a discussion on a previous show, don't put your business outside there, man. Keep your private business private. Nobody need to know about you and your family. Keep your
How
family
are
life
celebrities
private.
meant to do that? And
You
everybody's
understand?
crying in their business.
You know, but still try to keep it
and
private
also
because things are hurtful.
but with something with something like with alopecia, which can be both can be naturally occurring and can be the cause of overuse of chemical products in the hair.
Yeah.
And it's an obvious thing that you can see. It's going to be the talk. It's going to
No,
be
but again,
So-
remember, she came out. She take front and front before front take her. You understand? She take in front. Now she didn't have to because nobody didn't need to know. She could have shaved her head and wore a wig, and nobody would be none the wiser. You understand? Nobody would be none the wiser. But she take in front and she came out with it.
Exactly.
Which kudos to her. She was very brave. But again, what I'm saying is, Zara, coming to you. What I'm saying is, when you put yourself out there, you open yourself for attack. And of course, sometimes you will break down, you know, because you can't laugh it off and smile it off all the time, Zaya.
That's true.
I'm going to take a hard position on this.
No.
Alopecia might be too. You could talk about honing your husband. You could talk about your sexual life. You could talk about all the personal struggles in your life and how much people you dealt with in all your relationship, but you can't talk about the hair loss. Oh God, that's too sensitive to talk about. Get the hell out of here. This is what they hire PR people for, and they hire what they call spin doctors. How can I spin this in my direction to mitigate it and lessen the blow so we can look like it was very emotional and touching, so I can get sympathy from the public and so forth? Get the hell out of here. They hire PR people to put that out there, put that propaganda out there that it's her alopecia, it's her alopecia. So now you're so strong. She just made a comment last week where they have her on video saying, I don't damn what anybody say about my hair. But now
yes, she bald head. Yes.
Now you're sensitive today. So you wasn't sensitive before the slap, but you're sensitive after the slap. It's
Yeah.
how you spin that in
And
your favor to try to look innocent. Nah,
No, but the
I
thing
know.
about it is as well, the way how she roll her eyes. You know what I mean? It's like you're saying, you're putting so much out there. And to be honest, my personal opinion is I don't even find the joke was that offensive because
yeah, it wasn't.
unless you
No.
know about G.I. Jane, unless you saw the movie and you know about the movie, you would not clock that joke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Because
but
I did
the
have
thing
plenty
about it,
people didn't clock
she's
that
always
joke.
playing those roles with a shaven head. Like in the Matrix, she's playing
Yeah.
tough role model woman.
Yes.
You know, G.I. Jane, because I can speak from her perspective, okay? Because
Yes.
here we go, right?
Take the hat
So,
off and
so,
show
yeah,
them the
so,
judge.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Oh,
So,
them.
you know,
Tell them.
it's meant to be, how you say, a strong role model picture,
Mhm.
having the shaven head. G.I. Jane, it's not a prostitute kind of thing. It's a strong role model. So basically, you know, I don't understand why she took so much offense of it after she made jokes in a Twitter page and a
Yeah.
TikTok pages, you know.
She did, but she didn't even knock in G.I. Jane. This is the thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't
And
even
to add
she
to
didn't
that as
knock in
well,
G.I. Jane. You
to add to that,
understand?
we also had one of the biggest films for the black community with leading characters of African women with as
Shaven
bold
head.
Yes,
warriors
That's right.
yes,
from Black
yes.
Panther. So
That's
I
right.
feel like again, and also in not defense of Chris, but in regards to Chris, he's a comedian. This is what comedians do. They are going to make jokes about the things that we find touchy,
Hmm.
awkward, sensitive, and that's their role. That's their job in
And on
society
top
to
of
bring
that,
it
they're
to the
sitting down in
forefront.
front. When
And
they're sitting
obviously,
down in
That's
front,
what
you're going to
happened,
be
right?
whether
annoyed.
whether you're in the front or you're in the back, if the comedian is gonna roast you, they're gonna roast you. That's what you signed
Mm,
up for. You know how that
mm.
goes. It's not to offend you. And of course, yes, there are certain jokes that nobody is going to laugh at. But guess what? We've all been there as people where you see somebody drop down, whether it's in school, whether it's in the supermarket, whether it's just normal day to day. And there might be a time where you laugh, and there might be another time where how the person drop looks so comical. Like you say that
Mhm,
they're in pain, but you still must a little laugh. Hey, that
mhm.
look funny, but you're all right though. No, that is funny still. It's life. It happens. It's not the end of the world. So we have to be
No,
we have
well,
to
as
be
I said,
really guided
it
with
had
how.
a lot of people wouldn't clock that joke. You understand? They wouldn't have clocked that joke. And to be honest, I think, and this is the next question we're going to ask. And again, welcome to everyone that's joining us tonight. Soca Spice, we see you. Thank you for joining us. The Peace Time Zone, BS Pin, and everybody who's tuned in. Don't forget to share the live and do keep your comments coming. Right. No, somebody say Will Smith is a coward. We'll come to that as well. But
Mm.
the thing about it is, all right, we agree. The joke wasn't, I've heard worse jokes than that. You understand? And that was a really clean joke, and most people would not get it anyway. So
Mm.
is the question, it begs the question, do you think he overreacted? Did she overreact? Because the way how I see her roll her eyes, like, I'm taking, okay, all right. But then did he overreact? And I was quite shocked, to be honest, when he went back to his seat and he started to cuss the man out. I said, whoa.
Will definitely overreacted. Will, what's your name? Jada never overreacted. She just did the normal thing. Yeah, you're talking about my alopecia, whatever. Will
Yes.
definitely overreacted.
Yeah.
When he cussed the man from the seat and he repeated it and shouted it the second time. And to me, I thought that was more offensive than the slap because the way how he went back in the chair and shout out at the man, I was like, whoa, okay
Yeah,
then.
I think what should have happened, he should have done that in the beginning, and then he would have made
Yeah.
his point. You know, by getting up and snapping someone in a prestigious event like this, if it was out of order, or he could have took it back in the stage room afterwards, to say, listen, Chris, you shouldn't have said that. You should have handled it a different way. But to do that is just undermining the whole ethos of
Listen,
the awards. And
Yeah.
right now we're talking about Will, but what about all the others who won awards? And we're not talking about that because he's just being tarnished by this whole thing here. I'm sorry.
Mm. Well, I mean, I think we all agree that it was in poor taste. Any normal person wouldn't react in that manner. It's not like she was physically threatened. For me, when I looked at the aftermath of it on social media, and people was talking, and this brings us on to the next point about this protection and chivalry and all this sort of stuff, and he's protecting his woman. Now, if she is physically threatened, then yes, I could understand. You're protecting your woman. You understand? Because there for me, I think, yeah, I want my man to protect me. If my space is being invaded, then of course. But her space wasn't being invaded. You all were at a prestigious event. You understand? Everybody dress up nice and thing. What sort of protection are you giving? Because to me, that public showcase of protection, for want of a better word, didn't seem like protection to me at all. In fact, if I was Jada, I would be very embarrassed. I would be highly embarrassed by it, because I would think, I wouldn't want my man to be acting like this in front of all of these people. You must have some decorum about you. So I wouldn't feel like if he protected me, I feel like he embarrassing me. I said, boy, get your you understand? Behave yourself. What kind of shopping is you doing? You know?
And it could I just interject there? It's like, it reminds me of a situation I was in many moons ago, where a boyfriend of mine at the time felt he was protecting me because someone had asked me for a dance in a fair. I declined the dance and I'm minding my own business. And he decided to play Batman, quick from over there, so run, quick. People foot get mash up, pedicure thing, drink spill on people's dress, all kind of thing, all this pappy show, yeah, just to make a point to the man for approaching me, right? Now I was very embarrassed, because then I had to deal with the aftermath the following day, where my friend's telling me about how she foot mash up and her shoes off, drink spill on people's dress. Man, you know what I mean? Man trainer, get stamp on, like, and I felt extremely embarrassed. So I
No,
hear
he
what
wasn't
I
trying to
hear,
protect
and I
you.
agree with what you're saying.
He was running to, he wasn't trying to protect you. He was running to mark his territory.
Yes.
You understand? That's the equivalent of a dog piss. Standing up and marking the territory. That's exactly what he was doing. You know?
Insecurity. Ultimate sign of insecurity.
Course. Tell them, Zaya. Tell them 100%.
Well, we found that out later, but yeah.
You know?
For me personally, in terms of calling for the operation of somebody else's minds and thoughts, I can't. We could all go coulda, woulda, coulda. We don't know where they came from to sit down in that audience, to be hearing that on such a special occasion for the whole family. For then somebody to be sat right in front of you, targeting you like that. You can't call for the operation. Of what questions were asked about them when they were walking on the red carpet. We can't. You know, I don't condone the violence side of it, but the emotional side of it, I'm pretty sure that at one point in time or another, all of us have been guilty of acting irrationally and out of character, and we will question it after. But you know, we just have to pop in and say, you know what? Maybe I should have done this way, but you know what? The spirit take me this way. You know? The spirit, and it's saying the left hand don't know what the right hand do. The left hand will be like, oh, just leave it alone. The right hand was like, boy, I itching to hit that man a hard slap, and he went with the right hand. You know, but we can't call for the operation of someone else's mind. You know, even with Jada, in terms of Jada sitting down there and saying, oh, darling, come now, we go leave them, we go deal with it later. You know, Doria will get Morpheus and Neo involved, we go deal with it later. No, nothing like that. You know, it's a case of
clearly it was a trigger.
Yeah, there was a trigger. You understand? And if there's a trigger, you gotta literally look at it from that perspective as well. That he probably just was in a head space where it says, I want to just make this. I just want everything to go as smoothly as possible. I don't want nothing to come up that I don't really want to really get too emotional about, and bam, you come at me again.
And it just went there.
Let me add on one more thing. Let me just add on along the side. Everything at the Oscars is written in advance. You don't go off a script.
That's right.
Everything is vetted. Everything is written. They read off a teleprompter.
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Now, whether Chris Rock wrote that joke or not, or somebody wrote it for him, that's irrelevant. But the point is, everything is screened out before they go up there and start speaking. But to what Super Trini is saying there now is that mind frame. I could understand acting on impulse and trying to impress my lady when I'm in high school. I could understand acting on impulse trying to impress my lady when I'm in my early 20s. Will Smith is in his 50s.
Yes.
In his 50s here. And you have to stop and ask yourself, what is the environment that he is in at home? Where he thinks, I have to prove myself. I have to prove I'm macho. I have to prove I'm tough. You are not in high school. You are in your 50s. You understand? And these are some dynamics is going on at home where he constantly have to prove himself. Because I've been in that situation where I have to prove myself, but I was 19 years old. So it's a difference between being 19 years old and being 15 years old and taking that stance. And I don't know if you guys saw, but when they was on the red carpet, they was being interviewed by a transgender person. And the transgender person was joking around with them and just said, I hope there's no more entanglements. And they just smiled and walked off. I was more offended at that.
Yes.
He was on the red carpet walking in. How come you didn't get offended of that? But you got offended.
But
at
this is what
And-
Super Trini is saying. It's always a build up to these things, and you
Yeah,
cannot
there's
tell
something that's
what is
like
going to set you
outside
off.
to
something that's going
They-
on in his household.
And that's
they
a very good question because
Y'all are
you-
not being compassionate here, because it's two people to be compassionate here for, and these are our two prominent black men on this thing. What I'm hearing is as if, oh well, it's Jada, she's the one, she caused it, she's the one reacts, so Will had to prove himself to her. The other thing I'm hearing is we're not allowed to be angry. We're not allowed to have a moment of trigger. And you know how much triggers I had? You know how much triggers? You do not know all of your triggers. You can't. Yeah? Some of them you know, so they know entanglement was coming, they walk away from that. But at the same time, Chris Rock is the one who did a documentary on women's hair, black women's hair.
Yeah.
So if you are going to approve a joke about your close friend's wife's hair, who is a black woman, then that joke should have been struck off. Because you know what? I don't want to be the one to say that. Let somebody else say it. I ain't gonna be the one to say it.
But the joke wasn't offensive. And
for
it wasn't
me,
funny.
it don't matter.
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter. He had inside information within himself as a friend. He could have said, you know what, guys, that joke, I ain't saying that. Somebody else got to say that. Or get another host. I'm not doing it because that's my friend. I'm not doing it. Because he within himself should have understood the impact that it could have had. Obviously, he didn't know what impact it would have had. So he could. So for me, I feel like there's a lot of compassion that we need to have here. Because like Super Trini say, we all, whether we was 10, whether we're 50, whether we're going to be 60, that old man, old woman out there, people still being triggered. And it isn't always the environment at home. It is the environment within yourself. It's not always the environment at home. It's within yourself. And we are animalistic by nature. I used to fight, win. Jump, kick, all kind of thing. Listen, we just animalistic by nature. So at times, that animalistic behavior will come out. I don't care if I the Oscars, if I wear a bow tie, if I wear a gown, that gown coming off, it ripping, whatever, toe matching up, shoe matching up, drink throwing. Listen, black. I see it black because it's a target. It's a target.
But I think that's the problem,
I feel like
right?
those are the things that we need to kind of, holistically gather and be like, you know what, these are two of our black men, and as much as it shouldn't happen, it happened, and they now have to deal with the fallout. So we can't judge. We can't, because like Super Trini said, we don't know what was going on in either of their minds.
Yes, but Will Smith is also a comedian as well. They have Will Smith on video also making joke of somebody with alopecia.
That's correct.
Yeah, that's right.
Come on.
Nobody can't go back with you.
Yeah, but come on.
No, he was actually bald.
No, you see the whole thing about it, right?
Bald guy.
Will Smith makes
that was so long ago. We're talking about now.
No, but even it doesn't matter if it was long ago.
Will Smith is almost a billionaire.
Black.
Will Smith is almost a billionaire. That's the price of fame. That's the price of fame. If I know that go to New York, I can't wait to see Will Smith in person.
He had his own lessons to learn.
I'm gonna be a millionaire tomorrow.
He had his own lessons to learn. Remember, everybody have their own lessons. Probably had a lesson he didn't learn yet. That's probably part of the teaching. Is a lesson you need to learn.
But you see, the thing is about the double standards, Lisa. And that's
You know better than
Where is the double standard though?
I was just gonna ask that. What double standards?
Where is the double standard?
No,
Because
because
the air is human, right?
No.
The air is human.
yes, the air is human. I am not casting judgment. All I'm saying is pot shouldn't call kettle bottom black.
But
No, what I need.
with
No, I don't
education and
understand.
understanding though, with educational understanding on both sides of the fence, right? As Lisa said, Chris Rock did a documentary on black women's hair, right? But calling kettle black the same way there then.
Of course. On both sides.
Then everybody just had to take what they get, hush them out, and go and brush their teeth and sleep and get up tomorrow morning.
And you see, and that is why he's probably not suing him.
Yeah.
Rock was paid to tell a joke. They
And
brought him there and they paid him to tell a joke.
The joke was
Well, we don't know. We don't know.
They paid him to tell a joke.
The thing about it, he didn't ask Chris
like
what
Kevin
you meant by
has
that.
and step away.
You know? Oh, Kevin has said a lot of things on it too. He says that when he meets both of them, he's gonna have a discussion with both of them together.
Oh, ever. Mind your
You
business,
know?
Kevin. Mind your business when you was cheating on your woman. Just hush. All of them, everybody, all these traumatized and
then make
you know,
Kevin talking to me.
traumatized and all this nonsense. They wasn't traumatized when man was on the ground begging for his life and dying in front of. You understand? Shut up. Don't give me a vex, man. But they're traumatized.
You know, I know.
Go
I know.
eat
So
some bread or something and exercise and run around the block or something. But they're traumatized.
I know. So
come on.
To put compassion into it, right? With Will Smith, they say that he suffered from a mild effects of ADHD, right? Which is another spanner to throw in the works. So maybe that came out. So now, do we feel sorry because he has that now? You know, where do we draw the line here? But
people are fighting battles daily that we see. We cannot see it, and it comes out and manifests in so many different ways.
He could have had the vaccine.
He could have had the vaccine. Hey, the propaganda.
Yes, I like that.
Hey,
propaganda.
Right. No, but what we are saying, what we are saying, Lisa, right, is not saying that he should not confront them. Absolutely, you confront them, but there's a time and a place to deal with everything. That's
not
all
when
I'm
I triggered.
saying.
Not when I triggered. I'm telling you that free of charge. It had no
You could
time.
have drape him up backstage.
Only time and place
You
is
could have
now.
drape him up after the show.
The only time and place is now.
Listen,
no.
I see it as 15 years ago, we would have probably never known about something like that happening, because as I said, right, there's also a time delay on the Oscars,
Yeah.
And there's things that they cut out, and they could just put a commercial into to not show that
they used to do that.
The Oscars wanted the world to see that. You understand? Because it put it on the it just made the Oscars
no,
look. Everybody's hashtagging.
Mind you, there were certain parts that didn't see it. So, like in Trinidad, for example, I think they blocked it out.
They blocked the sound.
I had to
send
it for my sisters and them to see. Yeah, because they were watching it live and it didn't show in Trinidad.
But my sister sent me it and she said this is what now happened on the thing on the Oscars in the morning.
The song was blotted out.
Whilst it was like playing live, they didn't thing it.
Well, I didn't see it live. I just
certain parts
you heard the bleep.
And certain parts didn't get it live.
But Chris Rock got it live though.
Yeah, well, we know it.
Listen, I feel sorry for him because so smally to her. I so good boy, them advantages.
And that's another reason why I didn't respect that situation. You don't box somebody that's smaller than you and lighter than you. You don't get props for that.
So if they're trying to bite your ankles,
like Chris used to be a boxer because he stand up and take that lash like Klitschko.
I think
it's because it come from here. It just came from here. It didn't come from
it wasn't a belly.
It didn't come from all the way back there.
That was kind of bitch.
It was almost like
it was like I just want you to understand. Don't do it again. Stop it. No more, okay? No more. And that was it, you know?
Yeah. Well, there's so many questions here. Let's say that the host was Cat Williams. Do you think Cat Williams would have made that happen?
they would have still been rolling on the floor.
Oh yeah. Hey,
That's
Cat
right.
Williams. I
They
mean,
would have
if
been moving
Cat Williams
furniture
had
around.
given that joke, it
Get
would have been
you.
a lot more funnier. Honestly, it would have been a lot more funny.
Well,
Honestly, I find, to be honest, the joke was so dry.
It
You know,
was. That's what I said. It wasn't even worth your fighting for.
No.
But it may be
Well, it
dry
No,
to
it
earlier,
wasn't,
but
wasn't.
for them it wasn't. For him, for them it wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that for them it wasn't, but I mean,
Yeah,
if it
for them
had,
it wasn't.
you know, and to be honest, Chris Rock for me is not one of the funniest comedians. You understand? If somebody like Kevin Hart or Cat Williams was giving that joke, or even somebody, I would have loved to see Dave Chappelle give that joke. I can't wait
He
to
would
see
have
what
never
Dave
put his
Chappelle
hand on
has to
Dave
say about
Chappelle.
it.
Yeah, but
I love
Dave
Dave
Chappelle would have laid him
Chappelle.
out.
There's a tooth.
Dave Chappelle would
I
have
don't
laid him
think they would have made that
no,
joke.
Dave Chappelle is again invited to the Oscars anyway.
Yeah, but
This
is what I'm
be
saying.
pay-per-view.
Dave
This is
Chappelle would
what
have
I'm
laid him
saying.
out.
Chris Rock is mild because if they had somebody like Dave Chappelle there doing that, then I could see him going and slapping up Dave Chappelle. You understand? Because then you have something to slap. You know, depending on the comedian, somebody like Cat Williams will make you really laugh at something like that. You know, and somebody like Kevin as well, the way of how they deliver it.
But we did laugh. But we did laugh. That's the whole
laugh.
problem about it. We did laugh. I don't understand. We did laugh over the joke. It
Who
was a
laughed?
joke.
I didn't find it was funny.
Yeah, but some people laugh, some people didn't laugh, and
Yeah,
also
I didn't see no funny.
to
It
add
wasn't
as
a
well,
joke for me. It
in
was
the
just a
mix of
statement.
everything as well, that they were
I
also
think
saying
things
there's
hurt
been a-
more when it's somebody that's closer to you that they should know better.
Yeah.
That's right.
I
They
think
were
that
close. They were
right.
close.
as well
They were
Yeah.
close.
makes it
They were
feel
close.
There's
that
been a
makes
That
it
is
feel
true.
worse.
Go ahead.
Yeah, there's
Ifua.
been
Whereas
a
if
long
it's somebody
standing-
that they just know it in the industry is whatever.
Yeah.
But somebody who is closer to you is like really
That's
like,
right.
Yeah.
why are you going there? I think
Yeah,
that
well,
hurts
exactly.
more.
But that's the response that you'll have. Really, why you're going there? You know, come on, man.
because
Yeah.
apparently as well they're saying that there's been a long-standing thing between Chris, Jada, and Will in
From
regards to the Oscars.
2016
Yeah,
with the
from
Oscars and stuff. I was
2016.
going to bring that up. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
he's
basically,
come for her before.
he mentioned
He's
them
been
before
coming
about
for her.
boycotting it. He
Well,
mentioned
then
them
if
been
that's
coming
the
for
case,
her.
why does the Oscars keep scripting it? And it comes back to Lisa's question. If you have the script and you see it, why don't you object to it? Especially if it went down like a lead balloon previously. So then Chris has to take some responsibility.
Yeah, because then obviously
Zaya is not convinced.
we're not sure if
Zaya is
what
a man
happened in
with
the
no compassion
2016
tonight. None.
Oscars
None.
was to a detriment to the Oscars, or was it to a detriment to Will and Jada? So because the clip that they show of him speaking on it, it doesn't give you the full context of the that particular staging in 2016, which is the problem also with the media and the TV, because as we're all discovering now, if you're in Trinidad watching it and you don't see the slap, and we are here in the UK and we see and feel the slap, then who knows what really happened? For all we know, it could have been a mic drop around at the back and nobody not get slapped.
Mhm.
So,
It sounded like a sound effect though. I find it sound like some sound effect though.
It sounded
Yeah.
like that.
No,
But
it's a Mikey
have you
hat.
watched it in
Mike,
slow
yeah,
motion?
Mike
It was
hat.
whiplash.
I
It was
saw-
whiplash.
I saw a video where they put it in slow motion and they break it down frame by frame in slow motion. And when you look at it like that, it don't look real at all. It definitely looks
As
staged.
the conspiracy theorist.
Oh, yeah, it was on the
You
elbow.
can manipulate anything to look like that though. So
Of course.
in that particular instance,
Camera
this is the
Of
problem that we
course.
have.
Camera tricks.
Because now we could literally take any situation and twist it around and create a whole new video and put it out there. And then we say, look, Zaya slapped Sir Influential. Oh my God, Zaya, you need to get man. You are slapping the ballhead, man.
Yeah, but
It makes sense.
But this is
Carnival players, because Carnival players banned for violence and all these kind of things. So
All these bacchanal.
it's such a tricky time to be in.
It
Because
is.
you don't
that
know-
is
I mean,
that is
my whole point is, I understand what Will Smith did. Just man up and said what I did was wrong. You apologize to the
Yeah.
whole family. You never apologized to Chris Rock at the time. It's only the next day when they tell you, "Yo, man, that shit looking bad. It ain't looking."
He wasn't
good."
ready
Mm-mm.
to
He wasn't ready to apologize. So that's my
What?
point. Is let me tell you
He
something.
wasn't ready to
Let me
apologize to
just tell
Chris.
you, that's
He
my
wasn't
point.
ready.
I'm not making excuses for him though. Wrong is wrong, right is right. I still go watch him
Yeah,
movie
we know
tomorrow. I still support him professionally. but I'm not gonna justify or excuse his
No
behavior
justification.
on that
You know,
night.
But
Violence.
Zaya,
So,
But he doesn't want us to. He doesn't know. He never
Well,
asked
he
for
has a
that.
lot of
Good,
witnesses
good,
that's
good.
doing it and getting
So-
spinning. Now they talk about he saw his father hit his mother. What the hell that have to do with that?
yes, but
He saw his father
if
hit
he
his
saw
mother
that,
20 years ago.
but if he saw that, why is he doing the same thing?
Now.
You know what happened? What happened to the nursery rhyme? Sticks and stones may hurt my bones, but words should never hurt me. You know
Oh,
what
they're
happened to
real
that?
reaching,
Well, it
boy.
hurt him. It
Which
hurt him.
nursery rhyme
Yeah,
you said
no,
that
but
from?
we'll
Yes,
come to that.
That's a
He
remix.
didn't make it for Will Smith.
A remix, a
Words
remix.
Hurt him.
does hurt. Well, let's just move on to the next point about now there is talk, I don't know how true it is, about whether he should be stripped of his Oscars because apparently the Academy
He
is
can't be
looking
stripped
into
of
it.
no damn Oscar.
I will.
And
Then
you know,
Jeffrey Epstein and
that-
all them had to lose all their
that
Oscars
is
exactly.
wrong.
because
That's going to be my point.
You
There
see,
have been a lot of people, including Alec Baldwin, you know, who kill a
of
person
them.
on set.
Plenty
You
of
have
them.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Babylon will
You
burn
have
down.
other people that have done worse things.
Kevin Spacey.
Have kept
So many
their,
of them.
their accolades. So
And those are the
I
ones we
don't
know
think
about.
he should be stripped. Definitely
Well,
not.
no, definitely he shouldn't be stripped. But
I
that's
don't think they will be.
now
I don't
this
think
is-
they will strip him of anything.
This
No.
is
They
I
might
No.
make an
agree with you.
example of him.
I agree with you, Lisa, and I think this is why now I say it's staged in their favor in the Oscars favor because it's like, all right, cool. Y'all say we don't give you
The
enough.
Oscars this a
Y'all
drama.
say
Let
we
me
don't-
watch it next year.
Well, y'all say we don't give you black folks enough, and we only doing it every couple of years. All right, so now I'm giving you 2 year in a row or 3 year in a row, and look how they deal with it. So no,
Right.
we have a reason to do that. So no. And if they do try to strip him, it's too late. He already have it in his hand. He met the speech. It's on the wall. It's done. We have the history book of it there.
And then
They
they're
can't
talking
leave-
about
it's like
they
it's
ask
like when
him
they-
to leave.
it's
and
like
he
when they
didn't
try
want
to
to and all this
it's like when they
nonsense.
strip Bolt of the triple gold at the Olympics where one of the athletes from Jamaica was on the medication. To be honest, we don't care. But still get him triple gold. It don't really matter. That particular athlete don't get him gold, but both still have him triple gold. And it's just simple as that. So if we are
You said Bolt still had his goal, but I thought it got taken away.
It got taken
that's
away.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So yes,
In
they've
the
taken
hearts
it
of
away,
Jamaicans. That's
but
what
to
he's trying to say. They
us,
still saw him one.
It doesn't
Oh,
matter.
it's still there.
okay, I
we
hear you.
still win the race.
I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, I personally hope they don't take it away, but I have a feeling they could take it away to make an example of Will, because
No.
we are so accustomed saying that the Academy Awards is not giving black folk
Diversity.
that platform,
It's
you
not
know, not giving us the opportunity, just basically, they've been in the frame or they've been scrutinized for not having a lot of black artists being represented at the Academy Awards, right? And then this happens and it's like, you see, we tried, but now unfortunately we got to take the Oscar away. And the reason why I say
One
they
long
could,
suit.
hopefully they don't, but the reason why I say they could, and it's probably one of the reasons why they're talking about it, is look at last year, Noel Clark, his BAFTA got taken away. Now, the same gentlemen you mentioned earlier, Giselle, are the same gentlemen that have got BAFTA awards, and they haven't been stripped of it. Yet you've got Kevin Spacey and what's his name, Epstein, and all these other people that have done a madness.
Yeah.
And
And you
still
know, Noel
holding on to
Clark
their
was
accolades.
cleared of those
Roman
charges.
Polanski. There's a lot of them.
Him
And,
too.
and this is the thing, because it also brings us to a wider question. In the whole history of the Oscars has been going for how long? Over 70 years?
Yeah.
60 years.
Yeah,
or
that's
something
right.
like that. Will Smith is only the 5th black actor to win Best Actor. 5. We could count it on one hand. 5 in the whole 70-odd year history of the Oscars. And the Oscars happen on a yearly basis, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, all right
Yes,
then.
every year.
So, and we now reach 5. So, I mean,
Could be
clearly,
4 now.
this is why I stopped watching the Oscars and supporting the Oscars, because it's a complete whitewash.
I don't even think I
It
never
makes
used to
no
watch
sense.
it, to be
I
honest.
do not think that black actors, black producers Black people in the film industry needs validation by white America.
No,
So
they don't.
then for me, it has no value. Something only has value when you place value on it. A diamond would have no value if we didn't think it was valuable. You understand? And because people have placed value on the Oscars, therefore it is seen as valuable. To my eyes, it's not.
True.
You know?
But
And
then other
therefore,
But
people will
that's why
say you have to
Tyler
play the
Perry.
game.
yes, other
Yeah.
people see it. I mean, this to me, America is a very different place. The way how America operates and certain things I see, and Zion, no offense, not saying you, but things are different in America. America wired a little bit
Stupid in
different.
America.
Huh?
The dotish.
Stupid.
Yeah, well, I'm being politically correct. I want to say
I didn't say that.
No, no, no,
Oh,
it's
I
fine.
didn't. I didn't.
so
No, no,
things-
let's not be
No.
so harsh on our US.
I'm gonna tell you one thing though.
I never
Let's
said
not
it.
be
That's
harsh.
going on in America right now. All
I
our
never said it,
great
Kelly.
black actors in America all come from London. So it must be something that all of them want to come from London and act in America.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
All
And
the
I
great
was
black
gonna
actors
touch
in
on that
America,
point.
platform.
that's
Like I
carrying
said,
all the
Recognition.
You
You
can
play the
say what you
game.
want about America, but at the end of the day, there's hella better representation in America
Yeah.
than there is here.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
you know what? I'm
But
not
I
going
still
for
have
that.
a long- I still have a
other
long
than
way to
others,
go.
yeah.
We have too much tokenism here in the UK. Too
We
much
do.
tokenism. Look,
Yeah,
they
we
think
do.
it's Black History Month. Let's do a whole day on Channel 4 and have a bunch of black people doing presenting and doing these cookery shows and doing this and doing that. All that tokenism nonsense. In America,
Yeah.
you could casually just be watching TV and see black people on an advert. Like, let's get to that level, innit? Forget
Yeah,
the
yeah.
tokenism.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
agree.
but the thing,
We have
but
a
the
long
thing
way
is,
to go
thing
in the
about
UK.
it, we
Don't
should be
forget.
talking about the comedy thing. We should be talking about really the comedy sector in the States is far much bigger out there, But it was a joke. It was a joke. Wasn't it a joke, or was it a joke? I mean, hey,
It was a joke. It
what's
was a
going on
joke
here?
on paper. It
It
was
was
joke to
scripted as a
all
joke.
yeah. But to Will and Jada, it was
It
something
wasn't.
else.
So what's going to happen now? You're going to start sanctioning comedians about in fact, that's what's going to happen right
No,
now.
well,
You're going to have
comedians
comedians now
have
being
been- They
sanctioned.
have attempted to sanction comedians. Look at Dave Chappelle when he made that joke. And it wasn't even a joke when he was talking about the trans community.
And
He
it was his
actually
own
giving
friend
a
he was
story.
talking about.
His
But he
own
got a
friend,
blind now.
and he was
He
giving
got
a
a blind.
story.
That
And
was
they wanted
hilarious.
to
No,
cancel
he
him.
didn't get a blind. People supported him and boycotted Netflix to the point where Netflix suffered financially and they had
Exactly.
to put him back on.
Yes.
They had
Yes.
to.
Oh,
That
okay.
is what I'm
Because
saying. So when-
where he was coming from was his friend.
exactly.
Of course.
Mm,
Of
mm,
And
course.
mm,
that's
mm.
that
thing.
kind of
So
thing.
it's
And
now-
it's almost like you can't say anything.
But
No,
that
well,
because
again,
they tried to
compare
down
somebody
opinion.
like Dave
Culture.
Chappelle
Yeah.
to other comedians because they're so cutthroat and so brutally honest all the time. There's no wishy-washiness to them. It's easier to support them because you know what you're getting. You know
So-
what you're getting.
So when you have Kevin Hart sending his jokes and he's raw, he should have got a punch in the mouth a long time ago.
Yeah, but
So-
you can see that. But that's the thing is, you can want to punch.
Kevin had
every
not that
comedian in the
raw.
face
I see raw than that before. Eddie
because
Murphy and them was raw.
exactly every comedian at some point in time in their whole entire career has said something that somebody in the crowd would find
Exactly.
a bit
Yes.
bizarre, and
Yes.
they probably held themselves together and say, you know what, I want to punch, or they might throw something, or they might cuss them out on
Yeah,
social
yeah.
media. But that's
Cuss
what
them out.
you,
We
as the
just didn't get to
comedian,
see it
sign
play
up
out.
for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like how when
I
you
think-
just start doing comedy, you're not always funny. People are going to boo you. What do you turn and say? Y'all are whack. Y'all don't understand good jokes. No, you take it as part of the territory.
I just done what Will just did there. I said, you should never use violence. Actually, cancel what I just said. Can we cut what I just said there? You shouldn't punch. You shouldn't punch anyone anyway. You
Yeah,
should
man,
talk
but it's
about it.
also-
Talk about it.
And then there's also this thing as
Hold
well.
hands and sing Kumbaya.
I'm glad you mentioned the tokenism now because I feel like for us as a people
Kumbaya, you know.
globally, we are too quick to say, "Oh my God, we're around white folks. We can't behave like this." No, like Lisa
Listen,
said,
I can't stand
if-
that.
if
I cannot
that's how you
stand
feel,
that.
remember we are here to if we're
Oh my
trying to
God.
represent ourselves to the best ability, let us
Yeah.
be consistent in representation at all times in all spaces. You shouldn't be
Mhm.
code switching every single day, every single
Yeah.
moment. No, if the Oscars have you in a film and your film is the best film for the year, you must come as your true self and be able to
Mhm.
exist and exhibit and exude in your true essence.
Was
And if
that
that
him?
means
was
they
that
you
his
pull out the
true
container,
self
a jollof rice and jerk chicken, while the Oscars are going and say, yeah, man, when you're ready, you want to call me, cause me ready, Or if you want to roll up a spliff, or if you want to drink some rum, or if you want to wear your big chain from
Or
Trinidad,
if you want to slap somebody.
or if you want to
Well,
No, no.
Oh, wait,
well, I
No, you can't be slapping nobody.
I want to
that's a
slap
very good
somebody.
point, sir.
If you
So
wake up this
tell
morning
me
and
All
feel
right,
like you
so
need to slap
No.
somebody,
That's
it
a
like
very
this.
good point. No, hold on, hold on. Influencer make a very good point because was that Will's true self? Because a lot of
Yes,
people thought that
yes.
that
No.
was
it was.
out of
The
character
reason why I
because
say yes
His
as
mother,
well.
his mother, his
because
mother said
wait, no,
no.
hold on. For the first 50 years or 49.5 years of his life, we have never seen him
Yes, he has.
display
Yes, he
that
has.
kind of aggression
Yes,
Yeah.
he has.
like that.
Yes, he has.
In
He has.
Hancock,
He
I
has.
seen him in
There,
Hancock.
there
Hancock,
is.
Hancock. He done it.
Hold on. Let me
I
say.
was going to say that.
Hold on.
Yeah, he seen it.
There is a
We
video
just
out
gonna
there
wait to all it.
where Will Smith slaps the presenter for trying to kiss him on the cheek
Yes, yes.
unconsensually. Give him the same exact slap him give Chris Rock. Is him
No,
give
he
the
didn't.
presenter.
It was this.
No,
It was
No,
this.
yo,
yeah,
what you
hold
doing?
on.
It was that.
What's his
Was it
signature
a male
It
or a
was
female
that.
The
presenter?
man say, yo, no, the man give him a box and say, yo, what you doing? I
What you
don't play
doing?
that.
Yeah.
That was
I
the
get
wrist
that.
It
one.
was a
No.
male presenter.
Yes. So you have to
That's
understand.
right. That's right.
This is what I'm trying to say to you. It's not it's not out of character for Will. But
Ah.
what we do have is a situation where social media affects us all. If everybody is talking about you being less of a man and comparing you to somebody that were dead 20 years ago and how that person was more of a man, and somebody does something so small but still offends your wife, and you're like, right, did you know what? Because any which way, think of it like this. Any which way Will had reacted, we would still have this conversation now. Because if Will sat here and just laugh, people would say, Rob, boy, look on that. The man
It's
make
true.
fun of your wife.
You would have
And
ignored
what
it.
did
Yeah.
Tupac
You wouldn't
do?
even remember it.
No, people say, what did Tupac do? And then
Nah.
some people
Nah,
Nah.
it wasn't that.
And there
It
was
wasn't
those
that
memes.
fun.
It's not
There
It
was those
wasn't.
memes about what Tupac would do.
Listen,
They said if the Tupac that he would have shot him. You see
There
them
you
memes
go.
that been going
That's
around.
right.
the man
So yeah,
been
you're right,
But
sir.
going up against Tupac
then
since
the next thing I
time.
want to say is, how would we feel if Chris Rock had slapped him back?
Oh, well,
Oh,
I like
yeah.
that.
You would have said
That'd
Chris
be
Rock is
good.
wrong, right? We're embarrassing him.
No,
That's what
I would have said
Black
he's
man
well
should
within
be
his
back
right
on
to
the
do
that's
that.
what I want to know.
No, he well within his right. Somebody hit me head in the back.
Right.
But that's a good point that Sir Influential made, because actually I was watching Gina Yashere this morning. Did any of you guys see Gina Yashere's
No.
7-minute analysis on the situation? Right, it was really good. So I should have incorporated it in today's show. But anyway, I'll send it to you guys later. But one point she made is, towards the end of her analysis, she said, ain't it funny that Will has gone up on stage, he's walked across, he's now slapped my man, calm, collected, everything, right? There was not one piece of security in sight.
I was looking at that as well.
Right? There was no
Because-
security that came to grab him, wrestle him to the floor. So let's just hypothetically imagine the situation was a little worse. Where was security? Oh no, we don't need security for this. It's just a black man slapping another black man. We don't need security. But the question is, had it been a white comedian that dropped those bars about G.I. Jane and Will did go up to go and slap them, what would happen then? Would there have been security?
Never left his chair. Plain and
Police
simple.
in a helicopter.
It'd be it wouldn't be fresh.
Question.
It wouldn't be Fresh Prince. It'd be Fresh Prince.
Police in helicopter.
But like Isaiah said, he probably wouldn't have left his chair. I mean, we
That's
can
my
only
whole
speculate.
Oh, well, that's another story.
Nah, my whole thing is,
I'm talking
be a
about
bad
security,
boy, be a
guys.
bad boy for
Security.
everybody. Don't pick and choose who you choose to be a bad boy to.
No,
Why?
that is
But he's a bad boy for life. He's a bad boy
Hey.
for life.
look
I
what
could be a bad girl for
He's a
anybody.
bad boy for life.
You don't pick and choose. Okay, size him up. He's smaller than me. He's lighter than me. I know I can take
That's
you out.
right.
You go and slap him.
Yeah,
That's
because
right.
they're
I wish
friends.
Mike
They're
Tyson was
That's
the
right.
MC person.
Because he was biting my ankle. He was biting my ankle. So I had to
You know,
stop him.
he he should have done the same thing to September. September. He should have done them same
No,
vibes to
August.
September. Yeah, sorry, August.
August.
That's who he should have done it to.
No way.
Why would he do that to August when that was arranged? That was already part of the
Yeah.
deal. Why would he do that?
Because August
That's
opened his
who
mouth
he
and
should have done
bust
it
the secret.
to.
That's what
He
cuffing
should
him
have done
for.
that.
You're not supposed
Yeah,
to
but it
bust
don't
the secret.
matter. Who knows? August must have done Jada must have done slap up August, so they must even know.
Yeah, I
Well,
feel so, you know.
That's true.
Because I would have busty face.
I
It's what
feel
happened.
like Jada
Going
beating
on
these
there,
men in
no
the house,
doubt.
you know. I
No
feel like
way.
Next one, Jesus,
Will is
Lord.
in one
You are
room
pot clothes, not
and
me.
August is downstairs in the next room,
That-
and Jada just floating between the two.
Listen, nobody. They have a whole underground tunnel system. Will doesn't even live there. Live even somewhere else. You understand? And there's tunnel underneath. And then he'll come up and show pictures.
Oh my God.
Right, they're gone. Bye bye.
See,
And tunnel back
oh,
out.
you guys read too much, man.
It's serious. But
Guys,
it definitely raised a
to all,
good point. Lisa,
our
I feel
viewers,
like
you are watching
Huh?
Snails Hot Sauce. All you could see that the sauce real hot tonight. Yeah? Welcome to everybody that's joining us. Welcome to Trini Chevu. I know you're watching from Trinidad, so big up to Trinidad in the house, and big up to everybody that's watching. Drop your flag and tell us where you're tuned in from this evening as we continue to talk, and keep your comments coming in the comments box. Now, obviously, I mean, we're going to be talking about this whole night. But I just want to move the discussion along to the point about protecting your partner, you know, and would you expect your partner to defend you at all times, publicly and in private? And what should that defense look like? Because like we had Nai given an example earlier on where I said that is not protecting that the man marking the territory, you know.
Very pure, the trainers.
And I just found it interesting. I saw an interview with you know, this girl who used to be on oh gosh, what's she name? Raven Simone. And they interviewed her and her wife, and she was saying you just don't mess with people's partner, because if anybody mess with her wife, she's gonna go for them. You understand? So I mean, we talk, you know, it comes with gay couples, straight couples, whatever couple you are, you know. Is there an expectation that your partner will defend you and they will protect you? And so that's two different things: defend and protect. And what does that look like? You know, and with Jada, was there an expectation that Will defend her publicly? And we saw what that defense looked like. And the wider question about defending our Black queens, you know, do we get defended? People would say, do we get defended enough publicly? Because a lot, you know, for a lot of Black women get torn down publicly quite often.
Yes.
It pains me to say. So I think we saw a lot of women applauding him because it's something that we don't regularly see, the Black man defending the Black woman. So let's just try to unpack that a little bit. Welcome to the US, Hubert. Welcome. Which part in the US? He put US. What is that? USUS?
The flag. It's a flag. You put a flag there.
The American flag.
What flag?
US flag.
What's that USUS? Is USUS you see there?
Us. I think he's in the US.
He's definitely in the us.
Yes, you know, definitely. So we want to ask, we'll be asking the question about defending and protecting your partner in public, what that looks like, and would you expect your partner to do that for you? Guys, what do you think? Actually, wait. Women,
Hell yeah, 100%.
Let me ask the men. Hold on. Let me ask the men. Because we have 4 men on the panel tonight. You know, as a man, would you expect your woman to defend you and protect you? You probably say no because you're a man. But would you expect her to defend and protect you publicly and privately? And what would that look like to you to make you feel, yes, she have my back? You know, my woman have my back. Anybody, any men, any one of the men?
I'll start off with this one. 100% my woman gonna defend and protect me. If she's not willing to defend and protect me, she wouldn't be in public with me. Meaning that if I'm in a situation and she have to walk with something under her skirt, she gonna walk with something under her skirt to make sure that I'm good, I'm safe. And truthfully, if you're not of that mind frame, then we're not going anywhere then. I'm just letting you know. because I know I have to defend you and I have to protect you.
Mm.
And at any given time, if you see me in a situation and I even tense up, you better hold on to that Heineken bottle in your hand or hold on to that champagne bottle in your hand, and we're about to pop off.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Now it's
baby.
different though. It's different though
Baby.
because we've had conversations before we even step out, and this thing been going on for years, so we have an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
But your woman has to be willing to defend you at any given time.
Yeah.
If you're not willing to defend me, then we had no business going on.
Mm-hmm. I hear that. So you will it be that the form of that defense, is it physical and verbal?
Anything she can do to defend me. Anything. Now, most of the time, I'm the type of person that might tell my woman, be quiet, please. Let's not start nothing. Because she gonna say something that I can do defend it. I'm like, oh shit, little ass, please, woman.
That's it.
She's the one who gonna be starting shit in it, and you have to be
Exactly. I'm normally the calmer, cool one.
You have a tiny, she tiny.
Let me give a perfect example, right? Somebody might skip me online. I don't care, no big deal to me. The person skip me online. She'll come and say something. I want to open up her mouth and give the 2 cents to tell the person you're wrong for skipping me online and an altercation about to start. It's no big deal to me, but she's very defensive.
Let me tell you something. You see them little small woman and them like Lisa, I just call them little chihuahua. You see them chihuahua and them? They like back around the mouth hot. When I tell you, as a big man, if you have a little chihuahua, pressure. So if your woman is a chihuahua, Zaya, sorry for you, because that chihuahua, they ain't easy. Them that fight. Them so does want to start fight, and then they're looking at you, the man, to carry on the fight.
No, I ain't looking for you because he right behind me.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't open your mouth and start the fight.
But
you open your mouth and
if
start
you
the fight, and then the man know. The man had to man up because it's like shit, man. Start the shit. I can't bring someone out. No way, no boy.
You throw yourself in there.
Boy,
Bring yourself back out.
you understand? You can't bring this woman no with them chihuahua and them. They're not easy. So to all the fellas and them, wary. If you have a little chihuahua, be very wary. It is a lot of hard work. You have to be a German Shepherd or a Doberman.
You already know that.
If you have a chihuahua,
a pit bull just raffing onto anything and just holding on and just lock jaw.
That even
I believe that when you go out with your woman, when I go out with my woman, we move as a unit, you know. So basically, you know, we got each other's back and everything else. If a guy wants to buy my woman a drink, she's gonna come back with 2 drinks. You know, because she's got my back. There's no way on earth she's gonna go to the bar and some guy's gonna buy her a drink and she come back with 1 drink and I'm looking at her and say, hey, baby, what happened?
Yeah.
What happened? Wasn't I here with you? She's gonna come back with 2 drinks. You know? So basically, you know, if you're gonna buy me a drink, you're gonna buy my woman a drink too. So that's how we roll. Just like
wait, so Ren, what if the man like said, well, no, I'm only gonna buy you a drink. So what's gonna happen in that situation then?
She don't want it.
Listen. I'm not coming back with 1 drink in my hand. There's no way on earth I'm gonna go, you know, and someone's gonna buy me a drink, and I'm gonna come back with 1 drink. What we gonna do? Shares? You know, have a seat, baby. Have a
half
seat.
and half, half and half.
Who's strong, boy?
Give me your cup. Let me pour some in your drink. Let me pour
go and
some.
use some extra ice.
No.
I've actually done that before.
Yeah, exactly.
You've done that.
Yeah, I've done that before, Boone.
What is it? You split it in half with your man?
No,
so
I
you
said
mean to
it's
say-
you have to
you
buy
say-
2 drinks. It's me and my friend.
Yes,
It is.
that's right.
I
You
like
know,
that.
if I see Giselle at the bar and I can't just buy her one drink, I need to buy her and a man a drink. You know, I can't expect her to go back with 1 drink. You know, so therefore,
That's a polite.
that's right.
We need more men like you in the feds, cause you is the money spending idiot. We need that.
You ain't got the answer, Sway. You ain't got the answer, Sway.
Let me know.
But Jizzy, bring it to the next Bra Fanzess. Yeah, we need him at Bra Fanzess.
Yeah, because station is like that.
These are
But I like that. I like that.
You do the testing. These are little test thing before you put the ring on, you know?
Yeah. You gotta make sure she have your back. I like
Right.
that.
Okay. Right. All them tests.
Comments on below. Comments on below. Comments on below.
Me studying them kind of thing. Me doing no kind of test like that. Nah, I serious.
All them manders do tests. How shall I
So
say?
wait, so
Everybody
so,
just test everybody. Simple
Super
as.
Trini,
Yeah, hi.
do you not want your woman to defend and protect you in public?
Well,
And what
if
does
I
it
had,
look like?
if I had a woman, which I do not right now,
So all
but
ladies, all
Hey,
all the ladies.
put a word in.
what's
Ladies.
wrong? Behave on yourself, yeah? Behave on yourself. Listen,
She makes no
I,
say
I,
for ladies,
I
but
can't,
if
I can't
you're
take
Link in
the
later.
our business.
America,
I can't
wherever
take the
you're from.
football business.
Drop your
I
number in
can't
the
On
comments.
YouTube.
Listen, real cantankerous, listen, I'm telling you that I can say my piece. I can say my piece. Oh,
Yes,
I can say
all
my
them big time. Behave for yourself, please. Order in the
Lisa,
corner.
I can say my
Order in
piece,
the
please,
lower
everybody.
half of the screen.
Yes,
The lower
honey.
half of the screen behaving.
What kind of
Yes,
judgment
honey.
do
How
you
can I
have?
help you?
Listen,
Hey,
Sorry.
Super Trini, I done get WhatsApp already. Yeah, go
look,
for
watch
it.
me. I'm not going. Listen, I'm not going through this. Eh?
Is it because you're tall? Is it because you're tall?
Listen, watch me.
It
I'm
have
not
any
answering the
bonus?
wrong question. I want to answer the question that I was
It
asked.
have any that's for referring a friend.
Listen, I could answer my question. I could answer the question I was asked. Please answer.
You for yourself, you dig your own grave, you
No,
know.
I
You
have to be
dig your
real.
grave
I have
and
to
you
be
jump in
real.
your hole. You
I have to
understand?
be
So
real.
sit down in your hole.
Oh, good.
So let me say this,
Look,
right?
look at next
Look,
WhatsApp
you hear what she said?
Before
You hear what she
jumping out
said?
there now.
I'm making
Listen,
And
notes
next
for this
WhatsApp.
one.
Okay.
what I would
You're
say
not in a
is, right,
chihuahua
Take
thing.
that down.
in terms of a
Making
Hey,
woman
look,
notes.
somebody
defense.
saying it's your dimples.
Look, oh gosh, let me stay on topic. That's judgment.
Hey, already hot sauce, real peppery tonight.
Listen,
Inside of here, you know.
listen.
It's pressure.
Let me say my 2 cents.
Red.
Let me say my 2
That's
cents.
your dimples, boy.
Trini,
Nah, don't encourage us now. Nah, do not encourage
boy.
none of it. I can answer the question, please.
Answer the question.
Influential, Zaya.
I got you. I
Don't
got
answer
I
your
Well,
got
I
you.
can
question.
answer the question, please.
Answer
Answer,
your question.
please answer.
Judgment.
I need to get some more punching, boy. Woo.
What?
Like
Go
I don't
ahead.
need someone with done guilt.
My goodness. What I would say is, right,
Go ahead.
in terms of protecting, I don't ever want any to resort to violence, because when you get to that point, there's no control and there's always going to be a blame game coming on the back end of it. If somebody get hurt, oh, why did you didn't do this? I didn't know that these people was this violent, all that kind of nonsense there. You know, because you never know the situation you're walking into. But in terms of being rational, and if it is in the grocery and you're shopping and somebody roll over your big toe, and then she decide that she vexed about that and she want to say, well, you didn't even say sorry, you know? Simple things like that when it comes to disrespect and manners and stuff like that. I could see my woman, you know, stepping in and saying, hey, what really going on here? You know? But naturally, because I'm so tall, you know, I would be the one that should initiate any kind of protection now. You know? It always comes down that way. But I would say this. I've been in a position where it is, I was at an event and I was rolling with some girls. It was just me and some girls rolling. And these fellas and them was trying to come at the girls and just talk to them and things, and they wasn't really interested. So then they all came, they literally came and they were standing up by me, right? And they were all cool. And then the guys and then decided they were going to turn their attention to me. Right? To say, well, yo, you had to be use the person that obstructing us from these girls. And then you know what happened? These guys tried to come at me before one could even reach close. One girl done jump and slap that already. Like, for real. And I literally was like, wait now.
See,
it was some
that's a
chihuahuas.
test. That was a test.
No,
That's the test.
she was tall. She was a tall, slim girl. You understand?
And what's her name? What was her name? What's her name?
No.
Three of them jump in. Three of them jump in, and then it literally gets squashed in literally 20 seconds. It gets squashed because they realize what's there. These girls are making no joke, boy. Tall man. And they literally take their party to the next side of the room. And that was that.
So they defend the tall man.
You know, and that was that. But for me personally, I don't ever like to see things and start in violence, because the ramifications of that in this world that we live in now is
Yeah.
too high. So if
Yeah.
I realize there's a
It's
situation
better.
that
It's
Yeah.
better if we hold
that is
hands and
viral,
sing kumbaya, innit?
huh?
Nah,
It's
nah, I
better
ain't
if
saying
we
no
hold hands
kumbaya
and
nothing.
sing kumbaya.
Nah, if
I
we
ain't
don't
saying
go
no
kumbaya, then
kumbaya.
we go roll like this, then we go roll like this. You understand? We go roll like this, no man.
We singing kumbaya. I just want to
No
say
kumba blast with kumbaya on my backside.
yes, we see you reach Casinos just to let you know that Karen Super Trini Vibes is single.
Oh my gosh,
ready
what
to
that,
mingle.
Single.
that has nothing to do with Will and
So,
Jada.
just
It
let
has
you
nothing to
know.
do with
No.
the feeling.
She says to reach.
It's gonna be a
Hey,
YouTube.
tall and dimple.
Somebody say tall and dimples.
You understand?
I don't know, Trini. You might be Jada
Get
type.
me already, boy.
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
turned.
You're on the market. You're on the
What
market.
part?
Ready.
Look. Ooh, you get hands on big boy.
Yeah.
Ooh. Look, trouble tonight in the
That's
hot
me.
sauce. So influential. Would you expect your woman to defend and protect you in public, and what would that look like?
Most certainly. It's most likely gonna look like emotional protection and also verbal protection. So if you see somebody
Verbal, yeah.
speaking ill of me, or
Mhm.
speaking negatively of me, and in a way that doesn't align with my character or what I'm trying to be or represent.
Now you're laughing with that one.
So yeah,
Yeah.
and
Read
also
comments.
privately, it's the same thing as well. Obviously, when I'm not in your presence, how do your friends speak of me? How do your family speak of me? Is it in a negative way, or is it in a way that is of ridicule or unfair or untrue? So definitely, it's important to have that. And obviously,
Yeah.
I like Super Trini. Don't like to put myself in a situation where I have to show my aggressive side because I've already lost a knuckle in doing that since school. So I don't want to re-go
Lose
through that
anymore.
stage. Yeah. So but I'm all for a woman. I like to, like Zaya said, know that my woman is street smart and can handle herself. So if I say to her, I say,
Yeah, that's
yo,
the next thing too, you know.
you must can
Mm.
steady with the matic, as we say in Jamaica, and you must can more than crush ants. Because you must can manage the road and you must know what you're doing at all times, and obviously even for your own self, because my fear is that, and I've seen this recently the other day when I was out flying, that women get easily targeted because they're women. So I would hate to be, for example, I'm just at home chilling. It's not one of my nights out, but you've gone out with your girls to a soca event or a GMI band launch or a super or just vibes event, and some random guy approaches you in a very aggressive way and says, "Oi," like true example, like, "Whose girl is this? Whose girl is this? Who's this thing here?" And you feel so uncomfortable that you freeze, you don't know what to do. I want to know that you can, if it needs to be, thump that person in the mouth and make them know themselves. And then
Your
if you
father,
call
girl.
Uber or
I
call
think you
me,
know.
That's
fine.
when you're using Will Smith slap. That's when you're
Yeah,
using that. That's why I do.
Slap,
yeah.
slap, slap,
So,
slap.
but at the
Please,
same
please.
time,
We don't want. No.
it's important to have that, because we live in a society where we can't leave all the protection and providing onto the man. That's not how life works. It's a balance. So same way I must can fight
Somebody
and
looking for it, boy.
you must can also need to do. So definitely something that
What's
we
that? All of we getting
Sorry,
sidetracked there.
sorry.
Everybody
I saw the car.
Don't worry, don't
I
worry.
saw the car. I saw
One session, next session, we're gonna have a dating forum on this show.
Hey, no,
Yeah.
Everybody
And the qualities that men look for in a woman,
I real
vice
busy.
versa.
I real busy. I real busy.
We're gonna have a dating show.
Look, trouble now.
Influential. Sorry, honey. Listen.
Influential, please finish, sir.
Them
Influential,
comments
please
was
finish.
coming true, boy. Sorry.
Yeah, finish.
I'm gonna drink my water.
Influential's making some good point. I need to sip some more punching. Yes, some more punching. Go ahead,
Because his
darling.
woman's in the
Why you
house.
are punching on a
That's the reason why I
Thursday
make no
night?
serious point.
No, because we're talking to people business, so you have to drink punching and talk
Yes.
me business.
I want to hear what Sir Influencer says. Let him finish. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I said, yeah, definitely in public and in private, emotional protection, and obviously, yeah. Also, if you see somebody is trying to swindle me or do me wrong, or they're speaking ill of me, or you hear them, come back and tell me. Don't keep it secret. Let me know, because you never really know who is always on your side and who's not on your side. And 9 times out of 10, your woman is on your side more than most people.
That's
So
right.
That's
it's
right.
for you to be that to be that angel on the shoulder, so to speak, or that counsel in the ear and say, yo, do this, do that, you know. Yeah, man, there's lots of ways. And obviously, if you see me doing wrong or acting wrong, guide me, show me, say, yo, no, try this, try that, stop and reassess, because that is also supporting and protecting. Because if I'm walking down a path of destruction, don't just leave me to walk down the path. If you know you can
That's
advise
right.
or advise. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes, I'm
The
it's
devil,
serious.
the
Points,
devil, the
right
devil,
on,
the
right
devil
on.
always gets you at your weakest point.
at your highest
Denzel
point.
Washington.
Yeah, at your
Yeah,
highest.
that's what he said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Denzel.
See,
yeah. So
Denzel.
it's
Big
That's
up,
it's
right.
big
there's
up
That's right.
Denzel
a
Washington.
lot to
You,
bear in
I
mind.
wrote
you know
that
what's the
one down.
problem
I'm
with
gonna
that
use it.
statement? The problem with that statement is
Who
you
was
will
the
never
devil?
know when you're at your highest point because the devil always coming for you.
Yeah,
Mm.
because
Fact.
every level up is a higher point,
Of
which is
course.
what you say.
Different
But the
levels,
devil
different
always
Yeah.
levels.
busy.
Definitely, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. So I mean,
So
and I would expect the same. I mean, all the points that you gentlemen raised tonight have been very pertinent, and I think nobody would disagree in terms of the points that you raised around, defending and protecting your partner. And certainly for me, I would expect my partner, especially if people are saying ill about me or saying things that are untrue, to really defend my name. And sometimes you have people in relationships where the partner don't do that. They hear people talking nonsense about you and they wouldn't say anything. For me,
Mm-hmm.
if somebody saying something stupid about my partner, I tell you, hey, watch your mouth on one time.
yep.
Especially people telling lies. It have some people who are, oh my
Right.
goodness, it rolls off of their tongue the way how they lie about other people, and just saying so much nonsense. And you just have to stop it in its tracks and just say, no, that is not true. And don't come wrong me with that kind of stupidness. That's why me don't mind people business, I
But
don't want
Jizzy,
to know,
but
because don't
Jizzy,
come wrong me and talk about nobody. Me want to hear about nobody. Whatever experience you had, that's fine. You understand? But don't come around me and talk about nobody and worse yet my partner. So I ain't gonna stand for that. And I don't think people should. If that's your partner and you love your partner, then you definitely should defend and protect your partner in whatever way you can. We're not condoning violence, so we say to go and bitch slap nobody.
we'll
No,
slap,
no,
But
we'll
no
slap,
slapping.
we'll
unless
slap,
you
we'll
are
slap, we'll slap.
unless you are threatened physically, that's a different story. If somebody come in and invading your space or invading your
Yeah.
partner's space, then you understand that's a different story. You had to defend yourself. If you're being threatened that kind of way, then of course defend yourself. I wouldn't say don't defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? Um, but obviously there are consequences to that as well. So it's just weighing up everything. Um, the last thing I wanted to talk about, unpacking this whole issue of this slap, and whether it was right, wrong, fake, staged, whether it was defended, whether it was in poor taste, it's just about us as I always struggle with what is the correct term to refer to us, because I have issues with the word black in defining us as a people.
Yeah.
I prefer to use Afro natured, because we all have
Of
African
Afro descent.
heritage, yes, in us. So I prefer I
Mm-hmm.
prefer to use that term rather than the word black. I find assigning a color to a race of people which are so diverse is inappropriate. Even though for ease of reference, and sometimes I do say it. But when we look at us as people from the African continent,
Diaspora.
our diaspora, us melanated people, and we look at our relationships, is there a bigger issue around the man-woman relationship that we need to explore a bit deeper? One of the things that I noticed, and it came to mind, and we kind of touched on it tonight when we talked about triggers and what is in our environment and what might trigger us and all this sort of stuff. What came to mind when I saw that incident was the word trauma. And it's something that we will dedicate another show to, but I just want to touch on it tonight because there are a lot of our men who suffer
Mm-hmm.
trauma. Some of them don't know it. that they have a traumatic experience or a series of traumatic experiences that affects them psychologically. And even as couples, we have trauma, and whether that be generational trauma, whether it be trauma that we inherit from our parents, our environment, and it's just trying to understand that a bit, and how does that trauma affect us, affect our lives, affect our families, and affect our behavior. And do you think that the trauma that Will would have experienced, and as an individual and collectively with his wife, would have had anything to do with the way he reacted to that so-called joke on the night?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I mean, we all been in situations where maybe someone may have been embarrassed or whatever the case would be. And we all said in our mind, as far as men, like never again. I'm not letting nobody style me up like that again, or whatever the case may be, or you think it's funny or whatever. Of course we have. I mean, my whole thing is we all have been through it, but we've been through it at a younger stage in life, as far as men and ego and the traumatized and the lashing out. But it's a natural process. We go through it. We are humans in that regards, and it can affect you. But like I said, just go back to the original point, and you're right. You never know what would trigger a person. Something can't come out of you unless it was already in you. So you have to be a certain type of anger, hostility, something for you to lash out like that. So it was already in him. What caused it? What put it in him? We don't know. We can speculate. But it was definitely in him because it came out that night.
Like they say in engineering, a plane does not crash without a follow-on of other things, other factors. I mean, that plane crash, it happened because they had other factors going on. Whether or not it was the entanglement thing going on, it could have been lots of different reasons, that caused this action. But really, I just feel sorry for Chris. Everyone's focused the attention on Will. So what about poor Chris now? He
Everybody hates Chris, so it's okay. He's a custom. So.
He's going to be over here next month, right? So you can get your tickets down below, right? So
you guys
right?
Yeah.
I was actually
that's right.
That tour's been around for a while.
I was actually planning on buying.
That's right.
Oh shoot!
The
Oh
price
no,
went
my
up
bad.
100%.
Yeah.
And now
I need to look for that.
I think it's sold out probably.
No,
It might be sold out by
you
now.
can get tickets in Birmingham. Birmingham have tickets. Birmingham have tickets.
On the road trip.
All right, Ben, you're driving, yeah?
Road trip.
You just
That just kind of made me feel, and looking at Trini Shevu comment in the comment that he's saying in his book he always felt like a coward from the early age of 9 for not standing up to his dad. So that's a lot of pent-up emotion and a lot of pent-up trauma that probably he never dealt with properly through the right channels. Maybe he tried to, and it didn't really resolve, and hence the reason why that triggered him and he lashed out the way he did. I mean, looking at his apology afterwards, which was so emotional and so tearful, I felt a little bit sorry for him, to be honest, because
for the aggressor.
No, you know why? The reason why I felt a bit sorry for him was I just think he made himself look so much more stupid.
Yeah.
So
the jokes are coming more. The jokes are
coming in more now.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
exactly why I felt sorry for him, because I don't think Chris is not going to come out looking the bad one here. It's Will, and everything is like a point. I think Super Trini and Influencer was making earlier on. Everything that you tried not to do and everything you hoped not to happen, it happened.
Absolutely.
And in a spectacular way. So for me, I just feel really sorry for him, because now it's like he's opened up a whole nother dimension of ridicule, of scrutiny, of everything. And you don't really need that.
Embarrassment.
But they've been giving people ammunition for years, so this is nothing new.
I know.
This
I
is
know.
nothing new. They've
Yeah, but
been
it's still,
open and
it's still
transparent.
Do you
So,
think?
so
Do you
people will
think they
always
feed
have
off?
ammunition.
Do you think
It's
they
how
feed
people
off of
use
this
it. It's how
though?
people use the information. Because all the information people have about them is what they give people.
What they said.
Come from them
Exactly.
directly.
Do
So it didn't
you
come from
do
nobody
you
who
think
hearsay.
do you think that they feed off of it?
I
Well,
don't
to keep
know.
your name relevant. There's no such thing as bad publicity. As long
Yeah,
as
they
people
definitely
are
feed off
talking
of it
about you, your name is ringing.
because
I
that's the
think they're
whole.
relevant
That's the whole.
anyway because they're still present in their career. So I
I
think they're
think
relevant
But
anyway.
he is
I don't
relevant.
think
Jada is using the red table talk thing. It's content creation, and that's what sells. That's what's gonna keep their streams coming through and everything like that. So
Mm,
it's just one of those things where we have to be very mindful because, like we said, like you can
mhm,
speak on your traumas and your past experiences, and from
mhm,
there you have to be careful how you lash out and leverage it because also nobody's taking into consideration that we haven't spent any time really praising Will for winning the Oscar and the
That's
Yeah.
other
true.
black actors that won on the
But
day.
That's
on
We
the
true.
other
haven't even
ones,
touched
yeah.
on it. We don't
Mm.
even know the film that he won it for. And I think it was mentioned earlier, but in quick jest, that it's just like
Yeah.
so we've spent the last 48 hours discussing a slap that really and truly, if you saw it in real life in the playground or at work or something,
it wouldn't be a big deal.
it wouldn't be
Exactly.
No,
a big deal.
it
exactly.
depends on who's slapping who, though, as always.
Exactly.
Mm-mm-mm.
Mm,
You
Who's
know,
slapping
who
who?
hitting who,
You know?
And
who
then
got you.
exactly. And then when you're speaking of the trauma now as well, you have to consider that there's also the other external factors because there are the other comedians or the other influential people in the space and industry. And I want to use that to touch on when you're hearing other people speaking out about the incident, like the Jim Carreys who are saying, yeah, Chris should sue him 200 million. Why should
mhm.
Chris sue him? And why should Chris sue him 200 million? And why do you feel like he should be sued? Why are you as a person coming out and saying that? And why? That's very malicious.
That's what I was saying in the beginning. All
That's
of
very
them, they need to
concerning.
shut up.
Yeah, why
If
it's very concerning. And
if a
also,
if a billionaire put their hands on me, I'm gonna sue them. It's either that or I have to take the law into my own hands. And if I
yeah,
take the law into my own hands, then I'm wrong, right?
no,
I'm
we
wrong,
said
right?
that
Of course
earlier.
I'm wrong. Because I'm going
Why
to
are you
jail.
wrong?
I am going to jail if I
You're
take
going to
it into my
jail
own hands.
No, you're only
So I'm
wrong.
going to follow the proper ramifications and make him pay in the
if you
pocket.
get caught.
No, but you're only wrong if it is you go home, spin it, and then come back for somebody. If it is you
Yeah.
retaliate in that same
Yeah,
moment,
if you're stepping back
You're
in that
not.
moment, you're not
it's a
wrong.
level
Yeah.
playing field.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Once you walk away and
Mhm.
you make your plan, that's premeditated. So
Yeah,
that means that
that's when you're wrong.
you took whatever happened in offense and you want to make sure and make it drop the
Exactly.
gauntlet on that person.
Because
So then
remember,
you're
you know,
going to be even it's going to put them
more
on
problem.
more worse light.
Because remember, you know, what gets people
Mhm.
what gets people into situations, whether they're black, white, Chinese, or whatever, is the overreaction. It's where,
Yep.
and you see that's what I mean.
It
School
was an
is
overreaction.
somebody step on your shoe, you decide that you're gonna kick and punch them. Your teacher's gonna
Right.
say to you, "No, you're in wrong because you've done over. You've over exerted. You've used forceful. You've been too forceful." You understand? So it's just as because, like I said, as I said earlier, if Chris had just slapped him
It's
back the
called
same, I said, "Hey, what you doing, man?
po-
It's a joke."
yeah.
Or
But my
even, or
mom
even,
and my grandmother would say,
Proportional response. Proportional
exactly.
response
Or
of,
even if
of
he,
the
or
of
even if
the
he had
event.
attempted to slap him back, this whole
yeah.
conversation would be completely different now because he'd be like, "All right, well, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, whatever." And then he can say, "Yo, listen, it's a joke." And even when Chris was saying it's a joke, Will is saying
Joke.
no. So then now we'll come back to the topic of, is Jada protecting Will? Because at all this time she hasn't spoken.
It's
Said
the look.
anything.
It's the look he gave. It's the look
Well, she
that
taking
Jada gave
jamming
Will.
like if it's she slap Chris, you know.
Right. So
Mm.
where does that leave Will? And this is again what we're gonna say, because again, like what you just said, Giselle, if he's dealing with past traumas of feeling insecure, feeling like he's not man enough, and then it's coming at him from different angles, at some point he's going to pop. And unfortunately, he popped on Chris. Was it right to do so? No,
Because
of
it
course
was
not.
right in front of his face. You know, it
Exactly.
wasn't passing. It was
Get me? And I
literally
feel like, to be
right
honest, I
in
feel
front
like
of
if
his
it was
face.
any man comedian, he would have done that slap. I secretly feel like he would have done it. He would have
Yeah.
done that.
I
If it was
think
any
so.
man
But
comedian, he would have done it.
let's for the last 10 minutes or so. Let's try and
You done
unpack
already?
this. Yeah, I know, right? We done past time already because we started late. let's just try and unpack Jada's reaction a little bit,
Mm.
because or the lack of,
Mm.
because obviously she rolled her eyes. That was it. She didn't try to placate him in any way. She didn't say anything. Her whole response was quite stoic. And that in itself says a lot, you know. And I
That's
looked at
right.
that and
That's
I
right.
thought, that's really interesting, you know, because obviously if your man is defending you and defending your honor, you would have some sort of reaction. But she didn't have any. I don't know if she had one and they just didn't capture it on the camera. And of course, her
That's right.
ensuing silence around the
What?
whole matter, you know, not to say anything. And the only thing that she put on her Instagram was, "This is a time for healing and I'm here for it," you know, which doesn't say anything.
What
at all.
reaction we wanted her to have?
I don't
Well,
know.
she should have got up.
I don't know.
She could have got up out of her chair when we
Should
were
she
coming
have
back
had
and
a
gave him
reaction?
a hug. You know, that's what she could have done.
There's
But I
She
didn't
wasn't
send you
there.
up there.
Hold on a second. There's many times where I was about to pop off in a situation and my woman had to calm me down, had to give me a look, have to hold my hand, have to hold me back. Many times. my
hold
woman
you
had to
back.
calm
Yeah,
me
but he
down
already
Right.
popped off and came back and sat down. What's she
before
gonna
he
do?
even got up.
Yeah, but he sat
Listen,
down and
honey,
he was
leave
still
it
going.
alone. Honey, leave it alone.
No,
Yes, right.
I will talk to you after.
There is
Right
that.
now, yeah. No, you already did what
There's
you did.
different
yeah,
ways
but
we
we don't
defend
laugh
one another.
after the
Her
slap.
job was to keep him out of trouble and don't let it escalate. They said, when my job is to
That's
defend
right.
you, she has to defend that man and say, honey, don't ruin this night.
Yeah, but he
Calm down.
already did
We're
that.
gonna deal with that later.
But he already did that. You
No,
all put
one
him
I'm
there
talking
time
looking
about
like it's
before the
good.
slap.
Before,
Before the
before.
slap.
No. In the moment Will get up, I'm not going to flap behind him because I don't know what he's going to do.
What?
No, but when he came back,
He went up
we
there
just
calmly.
had
You
a
don't
whole
know what your
conversation
man
about
going and
protecting
do.
your
You don't know what your
man
man
and
going
your
and do
woman.
for 20 years. You know what type of man you
Oh,
have.
would he
If you
backside?
see
How
me
I
walking
inside
across
the head?
somebody,
You just
you
had
make
a
joke,
Nobody
conversation.
didn't know
you
what he
what's
was
gonna
going to
happen.
do.
No, I feel
Nobody
like
But
didn't
we
know
just
what he
had
was
a
going to do.
conversation
no.
He
about
walked up there with his
you
head
protecting
down.
your woman and your woman.
I feel like Lisa,
No,
you're missing
I
the
am not
point.
taking that blame.
No,
I
listen,
am
you know,
not. And
it's
you all
not
need
a
to
blame,
stop.
but
You all need to stop holding
but Giselle has
women
asked us a
responsible
question.
for their men's actions. It's only so much that we can do. He already did what he did. When he came back to sit down, okay, we're going to just go through this.
No.
When I get a moment with you, we're going to talk and find out what the fuck it is just happened. No.
yeah, but when he came back to his seat and he was cussing out the man, she still had no reaction.
exactly.
Yeah, but you don't know that because they didn't zoom in on her any moment. And he not
Let
even looking at
the
her.
man say what
She
he had
would
to
have
say,
had
and when all you go home, all you could unpack it.
Listen,
The man in
so
the
what I
zone,
gonna do? Jump
leave him
over
there.
Lupita. So I gonna now embarrass myself and jump over Lupita and say, Lupita, girl, move. Let me get my man there. What is that wrong with you?
So what happened to
No,
unity?
What
What happened to the unity thing we were just talking
Why
about?
wasn't they
I am
sitting
not
next to
doing
each other?
couple minutes ago.
You have already done the act. You are in the moment. I am giving you your moment. When we go home and when we have our moment, we will have a conversation.
But why we
He gonna get
why we
slapped.
having a
He
moment
probably
again?
get slapped too. We'll probably get slapped when he reach you.
She could not squeeze the hand. She could not hold your hand and squeeze the hand for him to know because
Because she should have been sitting next to her man.
Yeah, but all you're looking at it.
It had two people between them.
No, but all you're looking at it from the perspective
why
of
wasn't
us as
she next to her
normal
man?
people. They don't live normal lives.
Exactly.
The camera is always on them. So you gotta understand. She has to sit down and say, wait now, here what going on, eh? Here what going on. He don't do what he had to do. He'll find his own place to calm down because he just needs to calm down. If he says anything else, it's already been done. When we leave there, because what will happen if she reacts in any kind of way, it could be spun a million different ways.
And that is exactly what it is.
Because it could have had the conversation when they were home, right? If Chris Rock only say anything about me and my hair, or say anything about we, well, you gotta slap him, well, you gotta slap him. You don't know. Because if it is they've been dealing with this from since 2016, right?
Yeah.
And Will and all of them are meant to be friends or whatever, in whatever capacity. Will do what he do. She sit down there and she's like, well, my man do what he do. I can't tell him nothing. He sit down and start to cuss and carrying on. Let the man vent how much, however it is he wanted to vent at that point.
She did the right thing.
And she probably in her mind saying,
Oh,
baby,
come on.
let it all out, baby. Baby, let it all out.
No.
Because
I
I
reckon
would have had to
she
jump
could have
over,
stood up.
Lupita.
She should have
Jump
never
over
let him
next
leave his
person
seat.
who was there to go and hold he down
Yeah.
in my good green dress.
And
But
they
you
show the
really,
camera.
so you really care about the man? Lisa,
see
you
the
leave,
like
But I
the world
care about
says,
leaving
right?
the
I'm
man to
giving
hang
him
out
his
to dry,
moment.
girl.
No,
You're
I'm
leaving
giving
him
him
to
his
hang out
moment
to
to
dry.
calm down. I'm
No,
giving him
that's not
because you know what's
calm
gonna
down.
happen? You know what's gonna happen if I get up? I don't want to fight. So the whole party mash up. after
No,
that.
that's
So if
you.
I
That's
only get up
you.
here, it's
You
a fight.
escalated the situation for no reason.
Mm.
Yes.
Leave him, let
In the
him,
Oscars.
But
let
that's what I'm
him
saying.
calm down.
Because of the occasion, you have
Yes.
to understand that there's so
It
many
has to have a
levels to it,
balance
right?
somewhere. All it can't be
Decorum.
holding
On
Jada
balance,
responsible for
you
nothing.
do the do, let it all run its course, and then when we leave here, you can say a piece, you can slap me if you want to, Jada, but I had to just let it out.
But then
But
again,
listen,
Jada is very smart.
I think
She's saving all her reaction for her show.
Yes.
Yes.
Her ratings is going to be so high when she talks
well,
about
she's
that.
probably
Like,
just
I
more
think-
composed than he is.
No, she isn't. Watch the red table talk. She isn't more composed. She's more manipulative.
I think
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
so
even want to
what?
use that M word.
based-
I don't want to use that M word.
Listen, y'all act like manipulation is such a bad thing.
It is.
You
In
no,
certain
it's not
circumstances,
because
it is.
everybody
Yes,
manipulates
it
everybody.
is.
In
So it
certain
is not.
circumstances,
So
Yeah,
y'all
so
don't
that
act
means-
like it's this great bad thing because everybody does manipulate somebody at some point. Women just do it
but
better.
does that make it right?
It
Did
don't
you
matter
just
right
Lisa?
or
Did
wrong.
you just
We
say
grown up.
women do it
We
better?
speak man and woman.
Yeah,
I
she
will
just
take
said
on
that. So the
manipulation.
conversation
I
is
will
done.
say
Call it manipulation and
I
hush.
saw that. I saw it.
Call it manipulation
I saw
and
it.
hush.
Yeah, I think
God, man.
what
all
they
this thing
should
on
do
hush.
is just
Listen.
organize.
From we small, we learn how to manipulate to get what we want. That's what we were
Exactly.
taught. Ole was taught different things. We was taught different. So if Ole wasn't
Exactly.
taught manipulation when Ole was young, that is Ole's parents' fault. Ole's mommy and dad should teach Ole that.
No,
But we learned
see,
that. So
that
we
is
grew
a
up to
very-
do that.
that's
So
her.
don't know.
Mm.
No. Because we had to learn to
Mm.
get Ole to do what it is we need Ole to do. That is the end. That is the
Now, mark
conversation
this
we
down,
need to have
please.
next time.
Topic manipulation. Write it down, please. Write
It
it
depends
down.
on how you use it.
Influential
You don't
figures
have to use it in
Entanglement and manipulation. I got that down.
Yeah.
entanglement and
Yeah,
manipulation
I got that down.
together.
Busy
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Take
But
all
no,
the M word and
I-
hush, man.
I
So
think
up on the road as well. On the road, good evening.
yes, good evening,
Sheree?
Connie Road. The thing about it is
Pun-
she was so calm, which again in itself, kudos to her for remaining calm.
Listen.
I just think if you have your man back, you have your man back. She kind of
Fucking
put him
psychic
out there.
like a
Kind of put
supernova,
him
you
out
don't
there on the
know?
line to dry. You understand? She leave him outside there. She string him up.
How?
Listen, if
That's
Jada
right,
had started,
that's right.
Will wouldn't have
Because
stopped.
other people had to calm Will down and talk to him. She ain't talked to him yet at
If you-
that show.
If you
Yes.
Because it
Again,
wasn't the right thing to do.
what do you mean? So
Denzel
wait,
talked to him.
if
Wasn't right.
Denzel,
Talked to him.
so
He
if
should have talked to him
Denzel
first.
and how we name Tyler Perry
Matthew Cooper, all of them had to
and
talk
all
to
of
him.
them could go. Why she wasn't in the circle? If that my man, look, let me tell you something. If my man
Yeah,
wants
that's
to
right.
something
She
like
got
that,
up.
at the first opportunity I get to talk to my man, I will talk to him. Me waiting
Man,
till I reach
Let
out.
me
That's
put
right.
let me
Other
put this
people
way,
could
right?
go
That's
and
right.
find-
She never
wait,
got
no,
up. She
hold
never
on.
got up.
Other people could go and find time to go and talk to my man, and me go find time to go
That's
and
right.
talk to my man. You make it smoke a wife. I
That's
have my
right.
man back, can he do something like that? I is the first person coming and say, baby, what is going on?
Take off
Yeah,
the
yeah,
heels
I
and
see
you're ready
other
to go.
people talking to my man, and I still playing
Sitting down
Prima
and
and
sit
down.
Thompson
Like
and
a
all that
socialite.
stuff. Nah,
Because-
man, what kind of
But
stupidness
that
is
is
that?
But
not
it's the
that
same-
is
it's the
you,
same-
Giselle.
Come
Giselle,
to
that
me
is
real.
you.
Come to
Ah.
me real.
Let me tell you this. And when
What do you mean?
Beyonce's sister and was fighting, and Beyonce was calm and she walked out the elevator.
Watch now, let me
And she
tell you
leave him?
something. If Beyonce could see Michelle fall down when they was talking and walking down to perform,
But you
and
know she deal with him
over Michelle.
afterwards.
If she
She
could
deal
step
with him
over
after.
Michelle,
These
Michelle
women
fall
don't
down
do
when
stuff
they
like
was
that.
coming out to perform. Michelle
Yeah.
fall down, and Beyonce step over Michelle.
Because I am the celebrity here. I am the person who everybody's watching. I need to conduct myself in an order. That's exactly what happened.
Then why she didn't tell her husband that?
No.
That's what
Because he
happened.
already did what he did, Zaya.
But she should have told him that
Exactly. He
before he
done
do
do
what
what
he
he had to
did.
do.
Yeah, she probably text him. She probably text him and say, hush now, gosh, hush now.
Text,
Boy,
I have a
hush.
text. Guys, me personally,
Yeah, he already
man
did what
popping
he had
off,
to do.
I feel she leave the man to hang out to dry. You understand? And she
That's
used
right.
the man,
That's right. She did.
whether it was right
Yeah.
or wrong, whether she looking for ratings, that's not the issue. My thing is,
No, she looking for Ray to pay
why not?
the next
Well, this is it. You can't be
GI Jane. That's what
using
she
your
looking
man.
for.
You can't be using your man fame to further your career in a way like that. Nothing wrong with using your man fame to further your career, you know. But the method of how you're using it is what I don't agree with. You understand? Because you're making your man look bad. And if that is your man, you don't want your man to look bad. For me, I want my man look bad. If my man is a bigger celebrity than me and I want to ride off of his back, it have a certain way you go do it. I wouldn't leave the man to hang out to dry. She leave the man to hang out to dry. Me care what nobody say. She leave the man to hang out to dry. And on top of that,
point,
you didn't
at
have the
some point,
decency
your
to even
woman
go.
won't
look
be able
bad
to
on
get
We
through to
don't
you.
live
She
in
said,
the
look
world
bad,
Cares
that we
look
live
bad.
in.
Because you have other people standing up to give the man a little counsel and you self
A
even
little counseling.
and she's a woman, she
We
And
like
she
don't
an
not
live
there.
in their world, Olia.
no, she
We
like
don't
an
live
in-between
in
I
man.
their
saw it on
world.
TV. We saw her on TV. She could have got up. She could have got up and
We
consoled
don't
him.
live in their world,
No,
Olia.
it don't matter. It don't matter.
It
My point
does.
is,
It
my
does.
point, Super Trading, my
What
point
world?
is,
When they
she's
get
a
up in the
woman.
morning,
She's
when
a
they get up in the
woman.
morning,
She's a
everything is
woman.
prepared for
They
them.
didn't
When
get.
they get up and
They
moan
went
and
to
She
groan.
like
party.
the
They went to
limelight.
party
She like
afterwards.
the
They
limelight.
had
She like to
party
be like an in-betweener.
afterwards.
You understand?
And she
So
and
she
him
has
party
she woman.
afterwards very happily. So they
That's
drink all the
right. They
water and all
partied
the
afterwards.
punching.
Of course.
In fact, when they walked out on the red carpet, they were posing, taking pictures, and smiling. What's that
I
about?
rest
You
my,
know?
that's exactly my point. She let
Exactly.
him do what he doing, right? You understand what I'm saying? They probably had their little conversation at some point in time, right? And then they walked out together. You understand me? But at the end of the
They
day,
probably would
she
get
had
they
think that
even
is she
have
own
no
woman
conversation at no
and she's
point
she
in
own
time.
celebrity. So she had to look at her books as well and say, you know what? I gotta deal with this in a timely way. You could always jump up and say, yeah, she didn't come to the defense. Just that I hear you. 100% I hear you.
Yeah.
But we don't live in the world that they do. You understand me? We literally cannot comprehend what their thought process is every day. This is not an isolated thing. This is their thought
And
process
they've had to live differently
every
too.
single day.
I get that.
Yeah.
But my point is, no matter what world you're living in, if you're living in Zaro, you're living on Mars, you're living in the fifth dimension, the sixth element, me don't care. If you is my man, I'm not hanging you out to dry.
Well, let me put it this
She
way,
didn't
right?
hang him out to
So,
dry.
Giselle,
She didn't
what
hang
would
him
you
out to dry September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. But she hung him out to dry in August.
I'm not exactly.
Yeah.
She and me back to
I just
dry
got
in
to take.
August.
I just got to take.
Me and hanging him
I
out
just
to
got a
dry.
text. I just
So,
got a text
Giselle.
message on the news. I just got a text. It says on here, Will and Jada are filing for divorce. That's what it says.
Nah.
I
They
said
are
that
never
was
getting
gonna happen. I
divorced.
don't know
They've
how to put
already
it. I
stated
gave
that.
them 6 months.
They are never filing for divorce. They've already
They're
stated that
getting
in
divorced
public.
in 6 months.
They will not be getting
Yeah,
a
nah,
divorce
Really?
ever.
They're
but
gonna be
They've already
separated.
stated
Open
that.
relationship, open marriage.
Exactly.
When you divorce,
Exactly.
It's open.
They're not. They would never
They're
get
Wow.
getting
divorced.
separated in 6 months.
Yeah.
They already separate.
You think so?
I tell
They
you,
don't. They
there's
don't.
tunnels
But
underneath our house. We're living on the road like Batman. Will just come through underneath somehow, and then he just pop up, and then go back out. You know, Batman. They have a little tunnel. They
not
have a
together
key.
in
Just come out
in
somewhere
the
else.
sense of the words. Long time.
So
Oh
my
God.
question,
Yeah.
we're digressing a little bit. My question is, Giselle, right? What would you have done? You and your husband go to an award ceremony and, someone makes a poor choice of joke about yourself and your husband is vexed and he wants to
Like
do a madness. So what are you going to
Like
do if
what?
you were Jada?
Is a few things, because obviously you wouldn't know what you would do in a situation like that until you're in the situation. You understand? And I know people will act on impulse. So if it is that, depending on how the impulse going, if I couldn't hold him, because obviously I wasn't sitting next to him. If I was sitting next to him, I'd give him a squeeze, don't worry about it, kind of thing. If I wasn't next to him and he'd take it on his own aggression to fly up with his steam and
would
slap
hold him
up
back.
whoever, Once he get back to his seat, I will make eye contact with that man. You understand? And in that eye contact, you will know what I am saying to you. So you wouldn't take it any further. Number two.
That's it,
If you didn't see my eye,
You know, I now thinking that Giselle thinking like a Trinidadian woman.
Yeah,
Giselle,
that's a
not thinking
Trinidadian
like
if
that.
you didn't see
That
my
is
Boy,
the
I
difference.
just-
Big difference. Caribbean woman, Caribbean different.
Yeah,
Them
that's an
American
actually.
woman different.
If you didn't
Yeah.
see my eye and you then decide you want to cuss out the man, well,
He didn't
then
even watch she. So she
bet your
couldn't make no eye
bottom dollar. You
contact.
didn't watch she. Bet your bottom dollar at the first opportunity I get, I come in to talk to you. You understand? Me and you had a talk, because if we didn't agree that something was going on pop off beforehand and you just act on impulse, which I could understand, then bet your bottom dollar I had to talk to you. Because the other thing that people don't realize, and I hate to say it, I really, really hate to say it, because we shouldn't have to. And it's like what Super Trini say, you should be able to show up as yourself every day, any day. But in the world that we live in as people of color, melanated people, when we are on a big stage, everybody is watching. And the last thing you want to do is to give ammunition. We shouldn't have
That
to.
is
We
why
should be
she
able
didn't
to be
respond.
ourselves.
That is
But
why
we
she
live
didn't
in a
respond.
world
Because
that
things
is
that
not
she could have
equal.
said would have been recorded and
No.
used against them.
Of course.
That is why she didn't
And this
respond
is my
in that
point.
moment.
Then she
This
should have
is my
never screw up
point.
she face
That's
and
why-
trigger she
why?
husband.
No,
Because
she
this
trigger
is
she
my
husband.
Is
point,
she
though.
face, Zaya? Is she
Because
face?
I'm not going to say it's my
No,
face.
but
Please
this is
send
my
the man
point,
on
guys.
stage. The man
Because
was laughing at the
always-
joke. Good. He
You're
said
always-
Good.
clean up, he
And
run
she
on
got the
stage.
look. She got the.
you're
You
always
got the.
under
He got the
scrutiny, so
look.
you have to
He
know.
got-
Yeah, he got the
You
look.
have to know how to act.
They got the
Because
look. That's what
Zai, that was a
happened.
when you
reflex
at that
action. That'll be like,
position,
She gave
when
him
you
the
at
look.
that
That means
always
it's a
rolling with
war.
eyes.
Listen,
whether you
always
like
rolling
it or
with
not,
eyes.
you're carrying the whole race of people on your shoulders.
we
You
always
know?
rolling with eyes, Zai.
You understand? You're carrying the whole race of people on your shoulder. So you're in
Nah.
certain situations.
I ain't
you
carrying
have
no
to
whole race.
contact.
Sorry. Nah.
No, but now,
acting on-
Lisa, we
Mm-mm.
live in
Don't
a
give me that
world that is
responsibility.
not
I don't
fair.
like them
Come
things.
on, man. We live in a
Nah.
world that is not fair. We talk about tokenism and stuff. We live in a world that is not fair and is biased towards us. That is fact. We can't get away from that. You understand? So when it have certain situations, you cannot give people ammunition. And what they do and what he did was give ammunition. And whether we like it or not, it reflects on us as a people. Because we are
Not
already
really.
we are already
Not
labeled
really.
as aggressive. We are already
Not really.
we have
in
so
that
many
moment,
labels.
it wasn't about a people.
No.
In that
Come on,
moment,
Yeah, I
it
know.
was
I know going with
about-
that. I know going with all that weight.
They have stuff where they're talking about black people.
Yeah.
You understand? And if they use this against Will to take away his Oscar, or they use it to say they're going back and whitewash the Oscars, it is against us. So it goes right back into the system I'm talking about.
Why we
So
always
you
have
have
to behave?
No,
Why we
I
always
ain't
have to
saying we
behave?
always.
No,
I ain't saying
no.
so.
We
No,
have
but
to be true
Lisa,
to
we
ourselves.
live in
If
a
I'm
world
angry,
that is
I'm angry. If
unfair.
I'm happy, I'm happy. If I'm vexed, I'm vexed. If I'm sad, I'm sad. Why we always have to be this? Oh well, you shouldn't do that. You need to keep. Yes, you have to keep.
No, I am not saying that. We shouldn't have to.
No.
We shouldn't have to look. If it was at the Source
Exactly.
Awards, let me tell you something, Lisa. If it was the Source Awards, that is expected. You ever watch the Source Awards? It have fight and all kind of things
Yeah.
before the Source Awards.
Yeah.
That's expected. You understand? This wasn't BET Honors. It wasn't Source Awards. It wasn't Rap Awards. It wasn't anything like that. It wasn't Mobo Awards.
All it
You
was just a
understand?
slap. It
It
wasn't
was
even a
the
fight.
Oscars.
It was a slap. It wasn't even a fight.
It doesn't
Answer
matter.
does
Lisa.
bring
We
the
live
row.
in an unfair world. That's my point. We live in
Answer
a
does bring the
world that
row.
is biased against us.
Listen, I just be myself. If I feel to
I
fight,
think
I go fight. Let people talk and
what
say
they
what they
should
want.
do, what they should do is bring back the roasting, with Justin Bieber, and have celebrities, and they should have Chris Rock as the compere to roast Will Smith. That's
So
what they
you
should
looking
do
for
and make
Bacchanal
everyone
now?
happy.
You
Yeah,
want
that
more
would be a
Bacchanal?
seller. That should.
Yeah,
would be a seller.
that
Bring the
will
roasting.
never happen. That will never happen. Mm-mm.
Why not? Why not?
But
Yeah.
now, Giselle, I hear what
Man,
you
and
say,
then-
but I feel
Because
like
they
we
have
carrying that
so
weight
much
for
of
too long.
history of
Yeah,
negative.
we carrying that weight, but until the balance of power shift, Lisa.
It will never shift.
And
So
you know
I
why it
drop
will
in that
never
weight.
shift?
I
Yeah,
drop
we
in that
unpack
weight.
that in another
It will
show.
never
You
shift.
know why it
I'm-
will never
I
shift?
drop that
Because
weight.
we're not making it shift. We
I
not
dropped
making
that
the
weight.
shift, and we not holding the
Watchman,
power base.
we shouldn't even
Yeah.
try to make it shift. We should be our own.
Just have to be
We shouldn't try to make
ourselves.
nothing shift.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
where is our power
So-
base, Super
But we
Trini?
can't be
Where
our
do we
own
have
if we're always
power
against
base?
each other.
So what?
Yeah, but
So
What
no
is the
we
night?
movie
fight
between
against
Chris
our
Rock
own
and Will Smith.
anyway. We
No.
fight
No,
against
Chris-
our
There's
own
gonna be-
anyway. We bring down
Sim-
our own anyway. We
No,
disrupt
Super
our
Trini.
own
So-
anyway.
Yeah,
We don't
Super
learn
Trini
no
said
more back-
we need to be our
So-
own, but I'm saying we
Yeah.
can't because we're always working against each other.
Yeah,
Anytime one
exactly.
of us is progressing,
Yeah.
we're looking for opportunity to bring them down. So we can never be
That's right.
our own, and we're always going to keep having the same problem over and over.
So then that's why with what Giselle is saying, right, that it's bringing down our whole society is not even true because we already do it on
Yeah.
our own anyway. You
So I ain't
understand
carrying
that?
that weight on my shoulder.
We
I can
already
tell you
did
that.
it on our own. In that moment, Will wasn't thinking about this is for all of humanity. I'm going to give him a Hancock slap. He was doing it. He was. Hold on, let me get it out.
He was the Fresh Prince. He was the
He
Fresh.
was just doing
Prince.
it based on pure emotion, right?
Yeah.
And that, you know what? This man has said more than enough. And now we're back outside. After we had 2 years waiters, we all wrapped up
Hey,
inside.
that's the next thing,
right?
you know.
We
You know,
outside
we
now
didn't even
again.
think about that too.
Even though we had this whole entanglement issue or whatever, let me turn over a new leaf now. Let me make sure we have a different dialogue altogether. And then it went back to the exact same thing. One man is on a stage talking about another man's wife. The man decided that he's had enough and slapped the man. Let it be. It had nothing to do with black on black crime.
I do,
You
yeah.
understand
No,
that?
No, I
no.
didn't
Yeah.
say that.
I
But the
beg
other
to
thing
differ. I
is,
beg to differ. I'm
have
not
you not been
saying
in a
that I
situation
wouldn't
where
have a
you held
problem.
yourself back?
Yeah. I'm just saying, right? If I have a problem with any black man, it will never be discussed in front of a white man. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I'm not going to confront him. I'm not saying I'm not going to deal with it. I'm just saying I'm not giving them a show. I am not giving them an audience. These crackers will never, ever know I have any disagreement with any of my brethren. That's just my position. I'm
It's
not
giving
putting
the
on a show.
ammunition.
I hear that.
It's easier said than
It's
done.
playing
That's
into
easier
the
said than done.
narrative. It's playing into the narrative, whether you like it or not. There have been situations, look, we've all been in situations where we've been triggered, where you hold yourself back for whatever reason.
If
You
again,
understand? You hold yourself back. Why couldn't this have been one of those situations where he held himself back?
Because we are not under the same
Back.
pressures
You
they
know?
are.
exactly. The
Everybody
pressure is
handles
different.
pressure
I
different.
know,
It's just
but
different
again,
pressure.
it comes
Pressures.
back to live in a bias.
Yes,
unfair
pressures,
society.
$1 billion pressures.
Boy, they have so much money.
I
boy.
wish
The
I had
pressure.
some of
I
that
wish-
pressure.
Yeah,
Listen.
we
Yeah.
all do, but we don't
More
know
pressure,
the
more pressure, more
responsibility
problems.
that comes with it. We
More
all
pressure,
wish
more
we had that, but we
problems.
don't know the responsibility that comes with it.
Of
We only
course.
have a little house on the prairie, and that is it.
Well, hey, you hit the nail on the head. You talk about the responsibility that comes with it.
More,
The response.
Yeah.
Listen to what
More
you're saying.
money.
Now. The
another
responsibility that
BIG.
comes
Yeah,
with it.
exactly. Sometimes
And
it's too
that
heavy.
is part of my point, because the responsibility that comes with that means that you would hold yourself back in certain situations, because that level of responsibility does not alone sit with
That
you.
is on paper.
You
That is
understand?
on
But
paper.
it,
That's
but
not
the
all up in here.
responsibility
You
becomes
alone.
too heavy
All up in
sometimes.
here. On
That
paper,
level of
But surely-
but not in
responsibility
here.
But surely,
as a billionaire, as a
but surely,
black billionaire, a black celebrity doesn't sit with you
yeah.
alone.
But surely in the academies they should have known. He should have known that swearing is not allowed, isn't it? That's one of the facts. Swearing is not allowed on the awards.
Bad
It's
boy
written in
for
the
life.
contract. You
On
don't
TV,
swear.
yeah.
You don't swear. But he
Slapping a man on
swore.
the stage is not allowed either.
He
No,
swore, yes,
forget
he
about the
swore.
slapping. Forget about the slapping. The swearing. You do not swear
Why
on
you
live
forget about the slap,
TV
boy?
at the Academy Awards,
Why not?
isn't it? So
Why
why?
not?
So how? No, it's
It's
written. It
it's
must be.
family
It
viewing.
must be.
What,
It
is
must be.
folklore?
It must
Is it
be
folklore?
part.
It's family viewing.
No. It's family viewing, and they're on
Yes.
TV, so you don't spit up profanity on TV.
If
Yeah,
it was
isn't it?
family
So-
oriented, then they could have literally
wasn't.
cut out the whole slap from live
No.
viewing.
No. What
I'm
I'm
sorry.
saying is, if he,
No,
if,
which is
if,
what
if
they
he
did in
went,
some instances.
if he went arm off line. Okay, the hitting. Forget about the hitting thing, but the swearing. He should have known that. He's been to a lot of Academy Awards before, so the swearing is not allowed. So how come he used
Yeah, but he's
it?
slapping now loud. He done
What
out of timing already. So carrying on. He in a moment.
So,
And well, now we know they're talking about an ex-man
all
wife.
right, all right,
It's not
all right, all
allowed
right.
either.
Okay, all right. So he slapped. So he should have checked himself. Oh shit, I slapped someone. But now he's swearing now. So where does that?
Yeah,
how
because
do you
I'm
have that idea?
Yeah, but
And it's not
quite
twice.
quite rightly, the Oscars could have bleeped out that whole part as well. Eh?
Yep.
They could have
I
literally,
totally
because
agree
they
that
then
didn't
turned
get
to
it.
Will,
Look, they cut
they
all this
turned
stuff
to Will to
and
get his
we cut
reaction
on TV.
and kept it running.
Yes.
You understand me?
And they
They
still showed
could
it.
have literally cut off all the
They
sound.
did cut it out from
the
some
camera.
markets. So I don't understand.
did
Some
cut it.
markets.
No, but
That's
in
what I'm telling
total,
you.
they could have blanked that out and just.
No, but remember,
Bam.
they're bringing it live because we get the live feed where you don't have that time delay.
It's a live feed. It's a live feed.
No, there is a
But they
time
always
delay
have
of
a
6
delay.
minutes.
Yeah, but
There's a
in
6
some
minute time
places,
delay. There's
in
always
some
there's a time
places.
delay with those shows. There is a time delay with those shows that's being brought live to you. There's a time delay for that. There is always a time
Right.
delay.
Well, this is why in some
All right.
places they could
So-
do it, and in some places they couldn't have.
Yeah.
But even if they allowed
But-
it, again, it asks the question: was the Oscars trying to revive its brand because it's dying?
Probably.
The Oscars just wanted that bacchanal as normal. You understand me? They just wanted a little piece of the
Bacchanal.
pie because it puts them in favor. When everything is opening back up, people will be talking about it. People, it will be on everybody's thoughts. Oh gosh! So the next
They
year
be
Oscars,
trending.
what if it go
Yeah,
happen?
because now you're
Blah,
gonna
blah,
want to watch
blah,
it next
Yeah,
year.
I definitely got to watch it next year.
Exactly. Everybody wants to
Well, I
see
want to see
August
that
coming in.
next year.
August coming in next year.
I
September.
still ain't gonna watch it. If Chris did hit Will back, well, then I probably would make sure.
The answer that's bring you round.
We're gonna be popcorn. We're gonna be popcorn watching the Oscars.
Yeah, of course, yeah, man.
You know,
If you know,
we all going to Giselle's house and watch it.
I didn't even know
yeah,
that
on
on, to
big
be honest.
screen.
Yeah.
Now we drink some popcorn and some chicken wings. and
Yeah,
chicken,
because we never know what's
We
gonna
like
happen.
it.
Never know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
But
man.
Trini go make
Thank you.
some chicken
Thank
wings
you.
and fell off away.
Yeah. We all gonna watch it.
I'll be at the Slayer Awards. That's where I'll be. I'll be at the Slayer Awards. Yeah. That's where I'll be. You know. I just say, I just say.
Just saying, and we know the rules for that one. No,
For real,
no.
for real. Well, everybody, I want to thank everybody. I mean, this has been another boy. Only I look my head get even more red, again more red as the night progress.
Hey, Trini,
Yes,
Sister
they
Trini, you're still getting moved to, man.
Dimples could
You been
cook.
comment?
Yes, Trini Shevu, Dimples can cook, and Dimples can cook very well. Dimples hands sweet to bad, and Dimples is single.
You see
I will be
Dimples?
taking any messages. You could DM me and stuff. We will be
Giselle,
taking messages.
Giselle.
And
That's selling the man,
any
you know.
tickets for
Giselle.
Dimples.
Giselle,
that
you're
your new
sorry like my
business
sister.
venture?
You're sorry like my
That's a new
sister.
business venture.
Giselle, sorry like my sister. You know. Giselle, sorry, just like my sister. My sister trying to sell me for the last 10 years. My sister trying to sell me.
We could put Dimples in house. You understand? So,
Hey,
oh,
I have to
yes,
taste
yes,
his hands, you know. I seen all
Yes.
kind of thing here.
yes,
I read in the comment.
Oh, yeah,
Tall,
oh, yeah,
single,
say,
can
let me
cook,
see.
handsome.
to come London, or to come London to taste
So
Dimples.
single can cook handsome.
Dimples,
So
Oh,
what
yeah,
time they get
shit.
through?
Catering Dimples. When next? That's what I'm calling from now. Dimples. When next you catering?
Listen, just while we have our boat party on the 30th of April,
Eh,
that's why it is I'll be doing the brunch there. All right?
Aye. So what's on the menu? Dimples, tell us.
I don't know. I'm working on some new things, so I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do for that menu.
Sorry,
Aye,
what boat party?
Just Vibes boat party on
Just
the 30th of
Vibes,
April, yeah.
thing, yeah, on the 30th.
So all you know, all you come forward, Obviously,
April.
those of you that live
Yeah.
abroad, you ain't go
Oh.
fly to England, but you can cater to me anytime, Papa. Yo.
Papa,
Hello.
right outside.
Hello.
Right,
Listen,
nice
this is
one.
what
Hey,
Bad boy. We out and bad. Them pause you watch now. Them pause you get through there, you know. You're real DT, proper DT pon road. What's up on road?
It's
Hey,
a good thing I
you
don't share
don't
this
get
link to
through
my family, yes?
tonight.
It's a good thing I
You
don't share this
don't
link
get
to my
through
family.
tonight.
Only friends. Only friends has got this link, not family. No.
Anyhow, we're going to wrap up. Guys, Zaya, is there anything you want to say to our audience before we go? You're on mute, darling.
Unmute.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Thank you guys for having me. It's always a blast. It's much fun. I guess
always
my
great
last
having
thought
you.
that I take away from this is that I've been in situations where I've regretted acting. I understand that. You understand what I'm saying? But I think if you know better, then we're obligated to do better. And if you know Will Smith constantly give advice on his page every other day. Will giving us my advice on relationship, on how to conduct yourself, on different things like that. You know, if you call yourself a teacher, then you're obligated to do better. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. I like that. So influential, any parting words?
Emotional intelligence is key. That's all.
I like that. Nice, Lisa.
I like that.
Parting words on the topic or just parting words?
In general, anything.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's just one of them ones where you make a mistake and you hope that you could live after it. Is that kind of thing. And like Zai said, we all been in those situations. We're all humans. So even though we out here and we doing our thing, we have businesses, we giving advice, me with relationships, stuff like that. Who knows? I might have issue and it would be like, well, she just give advice. You know what I mean? It's that kind of judgment. And I think people like to say, oh, you're putting yourself, well, you put yourself in public, so then you look for that. It's that kind of mentality I feel that is destroying us as a society, part of it. So I just want to say to people, just be mindful that we all humans. We out here we out here because we want to do something different, not because we want to, be always under pressure from public. So, but yeah, check me out on Instagram, being Lisa Love Woman. Check me out, you might learn something.
Definitely. Super Trini.
Well, I want to say thank you once again for having me. It's been a fantastic evening. In terms of what we spoke about, all I would say is within your own home, within your own relationship, you would know how to conduct yourself with your partner and whatever, be it in the house or when you step outside. And we cannot control emotion of somebody else, but within your own self, you would know where your limits are and what your limitations are. So always be mindful of that. To all the comments, thanks very much. I will leave that right there. And y'all can follow me on Instagram at Opportunity Vibes. Check me out on radio, on Bacchanal Radio each and every Super Sunday morning. And on another personal note, I want to say to the whole of the Blacks family in Trinidad and Tobago, one love and respect to one of my soca icons, because he has been such an influential person with his words and his spirit through the years, through my years of listening to soca music. To Blacks and his whole family, I say one love, my brother, and continue on your journey. We meet again soon. Rah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ban your belly.
I definitely was going to say that,
ban your belly, man.
We lost a really good one. Very untimely. I think gone too soon. Way too soon.
Way too soon.
So much more music to give us, so much more inspiration to give us through his music. And he will definitely be missed. Definitely be missed. It is a hard one. I think it took everybody by shock, that we wasn't gonna see him again, and that this season would have been his last. So, bless up to the whole Blacks family, his kids, and all his friends and all his fans. Our well wishes are with you at this difficult time, because I think we all feeling it. Vern.
Yeah, sorry, I just cut out a minute ago. I believe that we're having the closing remarks, right?
Yeah.
Listen, this platform, we've learned a lot, and I hope that as humanity, moves on. You know, we learn from this experience. You know, and I hope the children don't pick up the idea that it's a good idea to go out and use violence against your brothers and sisters, because this is not what we want you to be raised at. You know, so for the kids watching this and watching the news and everything else, because we have wars, they're going through a difficult time right now. You know, so I just hope you can understand that basically we are teachers and you are sponges, and you just absorb some of the stuff which is going on and just do the right thing. So thanks a lot for being on the platform.
Yeah, nobody never likes to see violence. I mean, I've seen videos of school children fighting, and I find it very disturbing. And the last thing we would want is for children to see this kind of behavior and think that it's okay if somebody is talking something that you don't like about somebody that you care about, that you could just walk up to them and slap them. You know,
I just want to hit some school children, some hard top, yes? If you always want to hit some school children,
we don't want to condone that kind of behavior and promote that kind of behavior at all. And I really hope that they don't think it's okay to do stuff like that, because sometimes the consequences would be dire. Chris didn't retaliate. You mightn't be so lucky if you go and slap somebody that they wouldn't retaliate. So don't do something like that. Nye.
Well, yeah. Just as you guys were saying about, we shouldn't be slapping people, period. Unless in my perspective, unless if it's in retaliation, protecting myself, I slapping you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll be slapping you.
Yeah.
So unless if you come to me and you're coming with violence, I'm coming with violence back. So, and that's what I say to my kids. If someone hits you, you hit them back. Just make sure it's twice as hard.
War is not the answer.
Well, I know violence is not the answer, but sometimes it has to be because you're protecting yourself. But one thing I was going to say, though, is we talked about, I know Giselle asked you lovely gents about, would you let your woman protect you? If there was an opportunity that came up and everything. And I was just going to say that from my perspective, in my opinion, I think as women, we generally are, if we are in love with someone and we roll deep for that individual, we always play the ride or die. Is that the right term? Ride or die. Yeah, we always play the ride or die role. I would even go as far as to say that we probably play that role more than you men sometimes. Sorry to say, guys. Yeah, but that's just my personal opinion, and also from experience. I think as women, we generally really are play the knight in shining armor a lot in relationships, in my opinion. And well, I know I do. So in the situation like what Will and Jada went through, I think like what Giselle said earlier, I'll be giving him the look. I'll be like, don't be making me look like a dickhead. Yeah. Don't be like, you better keep your skin quiet, right? I'll be giving you that kind of body language and that kind of look, so you ain't going nowhere, you ain't saying nothing further. And to me doing that's for you, that's definitely for your protection, but it's for you and I's protection. That's the way I see it. Because if you're making yourself look like an idiot, you're making me look like an idiot too, and if I got you, then I will be trying my best to protect you from making any further mistakes. But that's, as I said, that's just me. That's my opinion. But also, just briefly, I think it was last week, I was watching on the Breakfast Club. There was a lady called Tamron Hall, I believe her name.
Tamron Hall, yeah.
Yeah. And she actually gave an example of where she was engaged to someone and she called it off. And the reason she called it off was because her and her fiance at the time went on holiday, and she was, I don't even know what you call it. When you, they send you up like kind of, like you've got the boat and then you've got the, like you're flying in the sky with the
parasailing.
Parasailing. Yeah. That, right? And she got into some difficulty.
Entanglement.
Yeah, something so. The thing tie up. The thing tie up. Yeah. Right. So she got into some difficulty, right? And she said that while she was in difficulty, she's trying to get herself out of the difficult situation. And she could swim, but obviously she was like, you know, as Vern said, entangled, right? And the person who was obviously, you know, the driver of the boat, he had to stop the boat and then he had to rectify the situation. Meanwhile, guess what her fiance was doing? My man's just
Laughing.
sitting there jamming. Yeah. She
was
said
what?
because he was just liming. He was just sitting there watching the thing unfold.
Oh.
Yeah. So now, these times, my girl was like, wait a second. I got into a problem. I almost died, you know, and you didn't come and save me. The man didn't even attempt to save her, right? And he could swim. She called off the engagement.
He probably was married already. He was just looking for that money one time.
Right.
What, you think it was the insurance?
Yeah,
The life
insurance. One time insurance.
Yeah, this bacchanal.
Thinking.
I don't know about that. All I know is that they went as a couple, as a fiancés, and they came back as
Single.
single. Yeah.
All have done the same damn thing.
Right. So I don't know about you ladies, but yeah, I mean, that's an eye opener, but that's actually a very frightening eye opener. And you got to think to yourself, if you're in a relationship with someone and you only know the strength of your relationship when you end up in a very sticky situation.
Oh, why?
So, Super Trini, make a note.
Watch me. You have no idea.
Paragliding. Do not
You get company.
It can be parasailing, paragliding.
Notebook company.
It could be slaving with Santa Claus, all of the above. Everything. Everything we get put on the list.
You get notebook company, happy, you know.
Well, I'm glad you guys are taking your notes, yeah, because as I said, I feel like that example she gave is an eye opener for a lot of us women. And as I said, you don't know what kind of the strength of your relationship until something that you know you get into a sticky situation, a predicament, or whatever, you know. And I feel like protection is not about just physical, but it's emotional protection. If someone's coming to you, you know, with some harsh words, or they've got a lot to say behind your back, how your partner, wife, or whatever reacts in your absence is extremely important, probably even more important.
Yeah.
And if someone is deliberately gone out the way to disrespect you, that they've got you as well, even if it's a family member.
Yes. And I mean, it's more common with family members. It's more common with
in-laws. How often do we hear
my
that?
philosophy is so different, though. My philosophy with that is so different. People will talk, people will say what they want to say, right? You can't stop people from doing that, right? You know who you are, you know what you represent. You just have to continue doing what it is you need to do, because people will continue talking regardless where you go, what you do. People will have an opinion. If it is they choose not to come to you to talk about it or whatever, and they choose to take another road, you don't have to worry about that road, because it distracts you from what your purpose is. You understand? But that's how it is I look at it. That's how it is I look at it.
But that's a bit off track there, Super Trini, because if you hear
if
it's to you, but if you hear that talk about your partner, you would just leave it and let it slide. You ain't go say nothing.
Well, I will talk to my partner first.
Well, all right, exactly.
I would say, you know, people that you're rolling with or whatever, you know, you gotta be conscious of that. You know, because you don't know what the circle is. You know, you don't know where it is.
Yeah, well, that's the point. You know? That's the point.
But I wouldn't rush. You know, rush the gun and say, you know what, I will just step in one time, because it could have been taken. What you could have heard, it could have been out of context. You understand? You may not have a conversation, and then you might run in and say something that's out of turn, so you don't know. So the best thing to do is say, hey, you know what, darling, I hear X, Y, and Z, or this was said. You know, however you choose to look at the situation after that, right? I back in you 100%. But
that's
like I
fine.
said, in this day and age, you can't
Tell
just go.
your partner something.
You can't just go
rush in there.
in this day and age. You can't. You have to have a little bit more thought process with what it is you're
That's
doing.
right.
You gotta be a little bit more mindful all the way through because we always so heavy. We used to be so heavy and a long time. We can't be that way now. Because everybody passes judgment by the stroke of not even a pencil, like HB.
But the thing about this is that at least you will tell your partner.
Of
That's
course.
the point.
You know, you keep that internal, security there, and then however it is you all choose to bolster that security outwards, you bolster the right way.
Yeah,
But sometimes on the flip side, a woman could address her man about situation that's going on outside and, you know, say, look, this is what's been said. This is what this person said, whatever. And this is what I said to defend you or whatever. Or it could be that you're on the outside looking in and you see your man is in a situation where other people may talk about something or is talking about something. And, you know, you're trying to help them, protect them from making I guess a further mistake. You know, they might be going up down the wrong path and everything. Sometimes men, sometimes you lot are ignorant. You don't want to hear it.
I agree.
You know,
I'm a very good listener. I'm a very good listener. Very good.
I've had that a lot of times now,
I did.
where I just don't even bother to say anything anymore.
Yeah, because I see even with my
Lisa.
parents sometimes, you know, my mom could be pre-warning my dad about something and he ain't listening to her. Yeah, whatever, he fobs her off. And then a brethren could be telling him the same thing and he's taking it on board. And I've been in a relationship that was very similar.
Yeah.
You know, so you could be doing your best to protect your man and advise them, you know what, babes, I'm not really feeling this, or I'm not feeling this person. I feel like I don't like the way they addressed you about this situation, blah, blah, blah. And then 9 times out of 10, the man's going to just fob you off.
Well, that happens on both sides, eh?
It does, but I feel men are more, they listen to us sometimes a little less.
So
sometimes. Some men.
I'm gonna make a note of that one.
Yeah. Get your notepad.
I think I need to pattern this note taking thing. I think I need to pattern this thing.
Can I come and take over your place?
We do need to wrap up now. We have gone over time. I hope everyone has enjoyed tonight's show. We certainly enjoyed, chatting with you, and thank you to everyone for all of their comments and for tuning in. Don't forget, you can share the video to your friends so they can re-watch this podcast of Slayer's Hot Sauce. Also, don't forget to check out Glow Dazzle Cosmetics on Instagram and check out the website glow-dazzle.com. And also GMI, I had to big up my band, Gems Mass International, the biggest and best band on the road for nothing.
Big up Mass. Big up Mass Dominique back Dominique in the house. We're on the road. We're on the road Sunday, Monday. We're gonna do it.
We completed. Big up to all
when did you become the CEO?
Big up to Lyman Mass Band and Lyman Beach Club. So for another, it's your girl signing off, Jizzy, for another edition. Catch us in 2 weeks' time. And thank you again to all my beautiful panelists tonight.
Glad to have you back, Jizzy. Glad to have you back as well. Glad to have you back.
Yes, bye everybody. Thank you.
And, thank you so much, everybody. We love you. And take care wherever you are.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.